I'd like to view it on YouTube. Okay, okay. What about Twitch? That still says offline. I don't want to need help. I just want to know why Twitch isn't streaming. Why is Twitch not working? I guess Twitch only wants to like work once in a blue moon. No, I said to turn Twitch off now. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna try turning it on one more time. Okay. I'm gonna give you a little bit longer, Twitch. And then if you don't work, then I'm turning you off and I'm just gonna do YouTube. You hear me? You hear me? Twitch. 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 Okay, that's it. Giving up on Twitch. Anyway, hello, welcome! I am going to be playing HiveSwap FriendSim. Do I know what I'm playing? Not really. Am I going to be playing it anyway? Yup. Yeah, so I'm playing this because my brother said that he would come and watch if I played it. So I'm going to pressure him to come and watch. And then I apparently need to plug in my phone because it's low on battery. But then I'm gonna start playing HiveSwap. FriendSim. I have no idea what this is, and I have never actually read Homestuck fully. I've read like the first 1/100th of it. I barely know anything about Homestuck. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. This should be at least interesting. Interesting is a good word for this. I have no idea what I'm gonna be doing. I will have no idea about the characters, or anything about the characters. Anything about what they... just like anything? Anyway, so let's get started. And I guess I'm starting with Volume 1 of Bloodthirst or Brawlworst. You have just crash landed on a planet called Alternia, and just staggered from the smoldering wreckage of your ship. You are now completely alone in a strange world, desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly a bit of medical attention. But most of all, you are desperate for friendship. Won't someone on this godforsaken rock be your buddy? Any weirdo will do. You're not that picky. Hang on. What's that now? Is someone approaching? I guess I'll do... Hello, welcome in, Cat9534. I guess I'll do... I can't pronounce either of their names, but I'm gonna do him. He looks like a nice little guy. Yes, someone is approaching! A strange, gray-skinned alien with a cozy-looking vest. Perhaps they will make a good friend. What's up? Oof. Hang on, sorry, I didn't get a good look at you before I started talking. I guess you're really weird looking. Kind of uncomfortable about this. Why? You looked so friendly before. Can I be a bit louder? I can turn myself up a bit. I am kind of... Wait. Why is my sound... Haha, you also can have some, game noise. I don't know when I muted it. I was trying to figure out why I didn't have any noises. Is this better? Am I louder now? I'm just trying. Anyway, so Damien is kind of uncomfortable about this. Your stammering reply eventually conveys that you are a lost traveler who is hungry and probably in some need of medical treatment. Yeah, game noises. Okay, that's a little better. Would you like me up more? How's that? Is this better? Anyway, you're a lost traveler who is hungry and probably in need of some medical treatment. You are also really lonely and wouldn't mind making a new friend right about now. Hungry, huh? I see what your game is. You aren't sure what he's talking about? Then your eyes drift towards the obvious target. That hot dog he's holding. It looks really, really good. Your mouth starts watering noticeably. Okay, I'm glad that the sound is much better. Oh no. I knew it. You're just like all the rest. Your agenda is to have me relinquish my delicacy. Well, forget it. I've been tricked out of 2 other oblong meat products this week already. I know you probably think I'm an easy mark due to my blood color But I still have some dignity at least. Why does a blood color make him an easy mark? Whatever. You don't know anything about this blood color, or why that would matter in this conversation about his hot dog. You're hungry, sure, but you didn't mean to cast a threatening gaze at his meal. All you really want is is make a new buddy, so you don't feel quite so alone in this strange new world. I see. You just want a friend and not my sweet meat. Sorry, I get a little paranoid when I walk around with a delicacy in public. You can't be too careful. Folks tend to get that greedy look in their eyes around my warm sausage. These are odd ways to express the things he's saying, you think. But it would be rude to point that out. Probably best to change subject. Get this blossoming friendship moving in the right direction. Yes, I do have the same knowledge as a player. I could ask if he lives nearby, or ask if you can... No, I'm not asking about the hot dog. He's already... So, yeah, or I used to, I mean. My place was bombed by drones a while ago. Why was his place bombed by drones? Now I don't have a hive, but I'm making it work out here. Foraging for tasty things when I can. I've gotten pretty good at it. Talking people into giving me meat products, I mean. You quickly feel a sense of pity for your new friend. You thought you had it rough, crash landing here hungry and friendless, and come to think of it, feels like your arm is broken. Your ribs too, maybe, but enough self-pity. This is about making a new great friend. You ask your friend if there's anything you can do to improve his life. Oh, wait. Are we friends now? Like, is that official? Man, I don't know. Why don't we slow it down a bit? See how things go. Not saying it's out of the question. I just think I should take some time to see if you're actually friendship material. Someone I trust, you know? Not just another looky-loo gunning for my delicacy. Oh, dang. You got out of your skis again. Of course, he's right. This is totally reasonable. I mean, it's sort of reasonable. You feel sure you can do what it takes to win him over. You make a mental note to avoid looking at or mentioning his hot dog, since it seems to be a sensitive subject. Yeah. You do everything in your power to avert your gaze from the hot dog. You're aggressively not looking at it. In fact, don't think of hot dog thoughts, don't think hot dog thoughts. It's working. You aren't thinking about the hot dogs at all. It's like he isn't even holding one, and no one ever even brought up the fact that hot dogs exist. He seems to notice, on some primal level, your current non-hot dog mindset. He smiles. You pay closer attention to the boy's face. It's a nice smile he has, actually. Very kind, disarming. A few freckles here and there, a mop of messy hair draped over his eyes. What a nice friend this would be to have, you think. He's kind of adorable, really, if you disregard the prickly attitude about his hot dog. Oh, wait a minute. You don't want to start thinking about that, thinking thoughts that are too friendly. You should dial this down a little. Stick to the basics. You just want a cool new friend, nothing more. You should try and spark up some non-meat related conversations soon, before things get awkward. You wonder about his house. It got bombed? Yeah, you know, routine drone passed through my hood. A little bombing, a little culling. That's how it goes around here. That should not be how it goes anywhere, sir. I was a lucky one. My lysis, not so much. What is a lysis? Oh no. He's a goner. Davey, no, you don't need to talk about it. You don't know what a lysis is. I really don't. But you can deduce it was someone important to him, who probably died in the bombing. It's so sad. Rather than overwhelm him with annoying questions about his culture, you decide the right place to show some sympathy. Thanks. I don't think that should be how it goes around here. Don't mind me, just talking to chat. I miss him. Lucius. Okay. It's pronounced Lucius. I miss him. Sometimes I think I enjoy savory bun delights as a way of covering up the pain. Can we stop with this, sir? They're so good though, it's hard to stop. I favored the juicy meats before he died anyway. It's something we did together. Sir, we're trying to not talk about your meats right now. How did we start talking about my hot dog once more? You started talking about it. Let's drop it. Please, dude, don't bring it up again. We literally didn't. You didn't bring it up, but you don't want to correct him. The boy is clearly grieving. You see two faintly red tears roll down his cheeks from behind the messy bangs. Your heart can't take it. You have to console this homeless boy somehow. Then he'll definitely be your friend. But what to do? I'm gonna give him a friendly pat on the back, because I'm not sure if he's a hug person. You keep it simple and pat him on the back a couple of times. Everything's going to be okay. Since you're his new friend, or at least working towards earning that status, he has a new ally to help him with whatever comes his way. He wipes his tears and appears to get himself back together. Your friendly gesture works. You're right. I shouldn't let the past get me down. In a way, I'm free. I'm off the grid. They'll probably think I died. No need to worry about knocks on my door because I don't have a door anymore. Maybe I can live off the land for the rest of my life. Scrounging up sumptuous indulgences wherever I may find them. By rummaging through offal drums or smooth talking the right mark. Sounds like the life, honestly. I miss my Lucius, but I think he would be proud of me. If I can make it without him, if I can survive on my own, I know he would be proud. Maybe I don't even need to leave the planet. Maybe I can avoid taking the ordeals altogether. Can't test who they can't find. If I play my cards right, I can probably live to ripe old age on this planet without getting caught. Like hiding in alleys and sewers, scraping together just enough succulent proteins to keep myself going. Honestly, I don't even need to get by that long, since I have a much shorter lifespan than most trolls.
Why does he have a much shorter lifespan?
So I think I might just be able to make this work.
You look confused at the last remark. Yes, but again, don't want to be impolite. He holds up his hand as if to tell you not to bother.
I can tell you're not from here. It's okay. Rust bloods don't live a long time.
That's sad.
Blood classes higher than me live progressively longer the higher up you go. Sea dwellers live basically forever. It's kind of crazy and seems unfair, but that's how it is. I'd be jealous of them. But I think I'm not. I'm almost grateful I don't have very long to live to make it in this world. I don't know what I'd do if I had longer. I'm happy to settle into a nice short ride, keep a low profile, take in some good meat along the way. Nothing wrong with that life if you ask me.
You understand, it seems like a tragic story, but if your friend has made peace with his destiny, you might as well too. You offer a sympathetic shrug and continue your impressive streak of consecutive seconds not looking at his hot dog at all. He smiles again. He seems to be relaxing, gripping his hot dog a little less tightly. That's good.
You know, you're good at listening. Not many people understand me at all. A lot of people find my overly possessive attitude towards my media delights to be strange and off-putting. I've heard this more than once and lost some friends that way. Well, there are some past personal dramas I do not want to think about, let me tell you. But you're different. Maybe you put me at ease because it's obvious you're even lower than me.
Excuse me, sir! Sir!
No offense, but you are.
He is cute, but he is... That is rude. That is a rude statement.
Drones would vaporize a hornless goof like you, no questions asked.
Excuse me? Excuse you?
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to scare you.
You laugh it off. You're not scared, you say. You survived worse. You pat your broken ribs and wince. You clutch your sore ribs with your broken arm. You wince even harder because of that. Ouch, that would hurt like a hecton.
Oh man, looks like that arm hurts, huh?
Yeah, it's broken.
Guess it's broken. Let's see what we can do about that. Here, hold this for a second.
He hands you his hot dog without hesitation. Oh wow, he wants you to hold it? This is such a remarkable gesture of trust. You're overwhelmed. You gingerly take the hot dog with your good arm, being very careful. You hold the hot dog from beneath with your fingertips, as if it's a priceless, delicate treasure. He takes off his vest and puts it on the ground. Then he takes off his shirt. You avert your eyes for a moment, then realize it's silly. Nothing particularly indecent about this, you suppose. If he's comfortable, so are you. Yes, I realize I look different from the species on this planet, but still... Then he puts his vest back on, takes the hot dog back from you, and hands you the shirt. Excuse me, what am I supposed to do with your shirt?
Here, make a sling out of it. That should help.
How do I make a sling out of your shirt? He's right, it does help. Your broken arm is a lot more comfortable and secure. This shirt smells like meat too. You can't tell if you're thinking that's a bonus or if it's weird. You decided it's a bonus. This is your new friend. He loves meat, and so do you. It's your greatest common interest, in fact. I guess.
Nice. You know, I think we make a pretty good team. I don't know if I'm ready for officially calling you my friend yet, but I may be getting close. You're pushing all the right buttons, man, just being someone who listens and understands. You have no idea how much that means to me.
You're so happy to hear this. It makes your heart sing. Well, if you're keeping it totally real, some of these things he's saying are just a little strange. Like, maybe this boy wasn't really socialized properly, but his lusus... By his lusus, you guess? You think that might be his dad, but again, you don't dare ask. Not when the positive feelings are flowing like this. Why kill the mood? He gets a little closer and swoops a hand through his thick black bangs. For the briefest moment, you catch a glimpse of one of his eyes, regarding you fondly. Your heart beats a little faster. He puts a hand on your shoulder. You're starting to wonder if all he's interested in is friendship. You hope that's all he wants. You don't think you're ready for anything more than that. You're desperate for friendship, or really companionship of any sort, but that's moving pretty fast for you. But you're too nervous to make your feelings clear on all of this. If he goes any further, you're not sure if you'll have the will to protest.
Listen, dude, this gorgeous meat product we both admire, I'm thinking maybe we share it.
I think that sounds good, actually. Okay, that's really cute. Oh my, yes, that sounds wonderful. You're so hungry. Yeah. And you're beside yourself with gratitude that Damien is willing to share with you something so precious to him. It really means a lot.
Here, I have an idea.
He Gosh! Seriously? Seriously? Oh, goodness. He brings his face closer to yours. He holds the hot dog up between your faces, with both ends of the hot dog pointed to his mouth and yours. You're not sure what he wants you to do. You can't find the breath to ask. It seems he wants you to eat the hot dog with him, Lady and the Tramp style. Yes, if pressed on it, you'd agree the act is uncomfortably erotic, but you have to admit it is a good way to share a food item whilst ensuring it gets split about evenly. I would be looking at a camera right now into the camera, but I don't have a camera right now. And you absolutely loathe the idea of letting your friend down. It's completely at odds with your values as a person. You chomp down on your end of the dog, as he does on his end, simultaneously. Dang, it's so good. As you take another bite, and he times his bite perfectly, he's eerily good at this game. It's going to throw off your chewing a bit, which makes you cough a little when you swallow. But you don't feel like you can pause without breaking eat rhythm with him? Might be what a bad friend would do. You keep going without really quite swallowing as you go. You get closer to his face, which is creating an imminent situation you aren't sure how you're going to handle. You haven't planned for it, and it's coming up fast. Sir. The hot dog backlog collecting in your throat is getting a bit too heavy, so you try to swallow, but you can't. You gag and cough up all the chewed hot dog matter exclusively into his face. He recoils, absolutely stunned. His bangs are blown back, and he's staring at you with wide eyes. Hot dog and bun bits are all over his face. He says nothing for a moment, then puts his hand to his throat. Oh no, he's choking! He points at his mouth desperately. You need to do something. The Heimlich? Of course! That's what you need to do. You need to save your friend's life. You get behind him, pull your good arm around his belly to form a fist. You plunge your fist in under his ribs, trying to dislodge his macinated delicacy. It's no good. You can't get any leverage. You need your other arm. It really hurts, though. You'll have to make the sacrifice for your friend. Yes, a friend who may have just tried to trick you into kissing him with a silly hot dog stunt. You're not sure how you'll navigate this tricky subject once he's breathing again, but you'll deal with that later. Right now, you have a life to save. You pull your broken arm out of the sling and grab your other fist in front of his belly and squeeze. You try and try. His face is turning, well, not blue. Deep red? You guess because his blood is rust-colored. Sure, that makes sense. You yank one more time, broken arm throbbing in pain. A huge gob of chewed hot dog launches out of his mouth like a cannonball, and the expulsion creates enough force in the other direction it causes you to actually lift him in the air, and you accidentally suplex him into the mud behind you. In turn, you go tumbling over him, and the two of you are soon locked in an inseparable pinwheel of interspecies downhill mayhem. You roll and roll down the grassy incline towards a nearby neighborhood, towards a street. Luckily, you stop just short of the street, but Damien's neck lands right on the sharp edge of the curb, and after flipping into the air once or twice, you come down on his face with your big butt. You hear a crack. Damien? You slap his cheek a little. No response. He's not breathing. You check his mouth. Throat is clear of hot dog debris. Oh goodness. This can't be happening. You look around, panicked. This isn't what you need right now. All you wanted was a friend. You can't be held responsible for alien murder. You have to hide the body. You see a couple of kids creeping out of the neighborhood houses to see what all the commotion is. There's no time. You've got to find a bush or something. There, over there. Looks like a little alien bush thing. It's pretty small, but all have to do, you drag the vested shirtless carcass over to the bush. You dump the body in the bush, and it's really not convincing. It looks like a dead kid who was unceremoniously chopped on top of a small bush in a poor attempt to conceal a murder. You've got to come up with a better... Wait a minute. Someone is standing behind you. Hello, stranger. Don't worry about this little mess you've made. I'll take care of it for you. You killed him! I didn't mean to! Well, that's one way to go about things. Let's, real quick, try the other... Let's see what happens if we go with her first. Yes, someone is approaching, a strange gray-skinned alien clad in blue. Perhaps they will make for a good friend? Dear God! And just what are you supposed to be? Not good friend. I know! Okay, how could I? I didn't mean to kill him. Anyway, rude person now. Just what are you supposed to be? You stammering reply eventually conveys that you are a lost traveler who's hungry and probably in some need of medical treatment. You're also really lonely and wouldn't mind making a new friend right about now. Oh my. Oh, how funny this is! How really droll, you! You want to be my friend? It's too much this thing at my doorstep, wishing to know me in any capacity. The hilarity somehow escapes my ability to capture with maniacal laughter. How rare! You apologize for your presumptuous request. You hang your head, turn around, and begin to walk away. And just what the frick do you think you're doing? Who invited you to leave? You stop in your tracks, obediently, and turn back to face her again. Your possibly broken ribs are throbbing in pain, but this does not strike you as the right moment to exhibit weakness. I'm going to take a moment to grab my water bottle and take a drink of water, because this has been a lot of talking. I do not have a problem with a lot of talking, but it just requires me drinking water. Okay. You stop in your tracks obedient. Okay. This is not the right moment to exhibit weakness. It dawns on me that we may have gotten off on the wrong saunter pond. Where's my manners? Ghastly behavior on my part. After all, it isn't your fault you seem to be some sort of hideous freak, is it? And such a tragic creature cannot be held responsible for such a devastating shortfall on societal competence. I would weep for you, really, except that crying out of 3 eyes at once gets a bit messy. So instead, I think I'll be saving my tears for someone less offensively worthless. You aren't sure if she's inviting you inside, or if she just got you to stay a little longer so she could insult you some more. You try to remain stoic while you're concentratingly new friend decides what to do with you. Unfortunately, you sniffle slightly.
Oh. Oh my. Oh dear, you're sad? So amusing to me. Mildly endearing, even. Perhaps I'll decide later if it's endearing once I have more information. It's entirely possible I will retroactively decide it's disgusting. But for now, try to put yourself at ease, you complete pitiful fool. Not one more sniffle. Yes, I know, hydrate or dihydrate. Hydration is good. Do you understand? You nod while practicing exemplary control over your nose. You've gotten yourself so agitated. I wonder why. You have nothing to worry about from me. Of course, I will be your friend. Conditionally. I mean, there is a chance the designation will be formalized if you behave in ways that I approve of, starting now. Let's call it a friendship in progress. Agreed?
Your heart swells. Mine does not. This is what you've been waiting for, a new friend. Oh gosh, all you have to do is try not to screw anything up at all, possibly for many hours.
Come into my hive. This way, after me. You look like you could use nourishment. I don't know what it is that whatever you are eats, generally, but it doesn't matter. You will eat whatever it is I have on hand, if I tell you to. How does that sound?
How does it sound?
It sounds good. I'll do whatever you say.
It sounds fine, I guess.
Fuck in my face and never come back.
Okay. Rejection.
Ugh.
Okay, fine. One more time. With her. Speeding through. Just gonna speed through. I'm not reading all this again.
It sounds good. I'll do whatever you say. Obviously, it sounds good. You will definitely enjoy it. You will enjoy everything I provide you with and tell you to do. I can't imagine any sort of negativity or disagreement coming from one of my friends.
I don't want to deal with the arrow button. That sounds annoying. I just sped through.
I will assume that you share this philosophy when it comes to friendship. You say, "Oh yes, absolutely." You nod as enthusiastically as you can without agitating your broken ribs. You consider giving her a thumbs up as well, until you realize one of your arms is probably broken too. You'll try to make sure she doesn't notice, though. It would probably leave a bad impression. Come with me. There's something I need your help with. You follow her into her hive. It's a bit gloomy in here. You suppose she's going to fix you something to eat soon, as promised. You pass through her kitchen and out the other side to another room. Okay, you guessed dinner can wait. This way. Try not to let any of your broken limbs slow you down. a good friend wouldn't allow such trifling physical ailments cause me any inconvenience.
Oh, so I guess she does know you're injured? Fair enough. You hobble a little faster, through another door into a much darker room, and now down a flight of stairs? It's hard to see. There are torches along the wall ahead, a monstrous noise rumbling below.
Don't mind her. She's just hungry. She's always hungry, though. What's that? You're hungry too? I have not forgotten. What sort of piece of shit friend do you take me for?
You didn't remind her that you're hungry. You thought it, though. Can she read your mind? You hope not. That's going to make this friendship progress a bit awkward.
Here we are. This is where you will be most useful to me as a friend.
You look around with a sense of relief. You see no sign of whatever hungry thing was grumbling down here. You are less relieved to see several other kids trapped in cages in various shapes and sizes. One of them makes eye contact with you. The boy is the same kind of alien as her, horns and all. He has a dark red symbol on his shirt. His expression seems to plead with you. He struggles to say, "Help." Your new friend looks unamused and twitches her finger.
Hello! Hello!
He says.
Hello, by which I mean hello, of course. Looks like you're the new friend in progress chosen by the great and beautiful Ardat. She's my savior, my reason for being. I am nothing without her. I'd haul myself out and let her make a nest inside me if she'd permit it.
You turn away from the boy. You don't want to hear anything he has to say ever again.
Don't mind him. He's always regarded himself as a comedian. Come, over here. This is what I need your help with. If you're going to have any value to me as a friend.
You're led to a dark corner of this, well, you're going to call it, like you see it, this dungeon. Your new friend has a dungeon full of sad, suffering children, and presumably a monster lurking somewhere in here as well. It is not ideal. Then again, social beggars like you can't be choosers. I beg to differ.
I've been having an awful time with it. You can do it for me. It will save me a lot of time.
You look at the thing in question. You doubt she's been having an awful time with it. You doubt this because it's still in its box, looking completely untouched since it was brought down here. It's a box containing a table? A table that looks ominously like it was designed to keep a person strapped to its surface.
I will need you to assemble it. Here's a screwdriver in case you need it. I will assume other required tools are contained within the box.
Oops. Can I go back one? You take the screwdriver with your non-broken arm. This isn't exactly what you had... This isn't exactly what you had in mind. You don't know what you had in mind, really. A warm meal, friendly banter, perhaps a sling for your arm, and a remedial balm for your ribs. Still, you open the box without protest.
Hold on, before you start. This will make for excellent content. My fans will appreciate this.
She sets up a video recording device on a tripod. She points it at you. A video feed comes to life on several monitors just behind you. You see in the corner of the screen an unflattering angle of your torso hunched over the furniture box. Wow. Other rectangles contain shots of the other kids in cages around the room. You suppose cameras are pointed at them too. You had no idea this friendship came with the perk of instant stardom.
Now you may begin.
She's suddenly sitting in a comfortable-looking chair facing you, holding a chalice, swishing around some viscous liquid it contains. You have all the parts spread out on the floor, organized according to their label in the instructions. You try to remember the last time you assembled something like this. You don't recall enjoying it. To be perfectly honest, this doesn't look like it will be fun at all. She frowns conspicuously.
Oh, how sad for you.
I don't think I said that out loud.
I'm sorry. Is this activity not to your liking?
You reassure her vigorously that no, this actually looks amazing. You love stuff like this. It's what you were born for, you say, as you swoosh the screwdriver around, demonstrating your plainly evident skills with the tool. Forgetting the thing you just thought. Completely arbitrary and wrong thoughts pop into your head all the time. It meant nothing, you swear.
Yes, I hear that a lot. Continue.
You open the little bag full of screws. Jeez, there are like 50 screws to this thing. Where could most of these screws possibly even go? Judging from the picture of the table, well, it really doesn't seem that complicated. And looking at your screwdriver, then studying the screws, every single one requires an Allen wrench. Does this even come with an Allen wrench? The instructions seem to suggest it does. You look around, but you don't see one. Did you open the bag too forcefully? Did the Allen wrench go bouncing off into the dark dungeon crevice nearby? Maybe you lost some of the screws too? Dang it! You begin to sweat and look around nervously. You check underneath one of the parts. No, it's not under there. You grip the screwdriver a little tighter. You wonder what to do next. I guess just do my best and assemble the table. You decide it would be best not to complain about the missing Allen wrench. Your friend would probably consider it bad form. You'll just make do and twist in all the screws by hand as best you can. Your broken arm isn't making this any easier. You favor the other one and prop pieces into place precariously, leaning against each other, while you nudge them into position with your leg so the screw holes align. It's really frustrating work, you're not gonna lie. As you are twisting in the first screw, the grooves slip, and the screw gets stuck. But you've already turned it too tight. Now it's hard to get out. You twist the reverse hard, but your fingers slip, and the table pieces start to slide. They're going to fall. You react to catch them, but it's too late. The heavier pieces tip over and slam into the broken ribs on the way to the floor. You hit the floor with a bang. The stuck screw pops out and goes bouncing 10 or 15 feet away, settling deep underneath a piece of dungeon furniture. Gods, you're probably going to need to get that. You hear a light chuckle. Good. Good. She takes another sip from her chalice and settles even more comfortably into her chair. I don't like her at all. Is she enjoying this? You think she's enjoying watching you struggle to put this stupid thing together? Maybe a little too much. Nevertheless, you continue. A friend is a friend. And you don't like to let your friends down. You've committed yourself to this project. You will get the screw out from under there a bit later. Maybe when you need the final screw. You're turning your attention back to the table pieces and try a different strategy. You place the biggest part, the table platform, flat on the floor. The legs would be pointed upwards if they were attached. You position one leg in the right spot, in alignment with the holes, sit on the table platform, and steady the leg with your feet. You grab another screw and concentrate. She sounds so pleased. It's strange, you admit it, for watching this sort of activity to make someone so happy. But you also have to admit to taking a certain pride in it. It's wonderful, actually, to feel useful, wanted, important even, if only somewhat mentally, if only somewhat menially, to a great new friend who has discovered a way to find your talent to improve her life. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice one of the caged kids reaching out with his hand. He's concentrating. Then you notice the screw you lost slowly sliding out from underneath its hiding place. Nice. Everyone's working like a team down here. Ardata does not look at the kid, but sneers a bit. She reaches towards him, and he appears to have trouble breathing. After a moment, you notice the screw slowly slides back under the thing. She releases him from his breathing problems, resumes her pleasant expression, and takes another sip from the chalice. Lovely. You guess that was against the rules? You decide to make a note of it. Your friend runs a tight ship down here. You respect that. About an hour later, you have all 4 legs on, plus some other accoutrements attached. You wrestle mightily with the thing to get it upright, using your only good arm. It seems she may have forgotten about the final missing screw. You doubt the table needs it. You decide you won't bring it up if she won't. You give it a test. It's pretty wobbly, since you were only able to tighten the screws with your bare fingers, but again, she doesn't seem to mind. She reclines and has a look on her face which makes her appear absolutely enamored of your handiwork. She has finished her drink, and the chalice is on a side table. Some awful-looking thing crawls along the floor towards her. It looks like some sort of spider, the size of an average dog. Its abdomen is preposterously large. Actually, you think it's a huge tick? That's what it looks like. It settles just in front of her. She puts her legs on top of it and crosses them. It settles under her weight and grumbles. Let's try it out, shall we? No, we really shouldn't. You shrug and sit down on the rather rackety table. You're about to lie down, but she interrupts you. No. You fool, you absolute fool! What do you think you're doing? That's not what I meant. Get up. You stand up, embarrassed. Again, without looking at the caged children, she raises an arm towards him and beckons. He stares blankly and opens his own cage, which apparently wasn't locked. He shuffles vacantly over to your table and lies down on its surface. She looks at you expectantly. You aren't sure what to do. What? You didn't think I'd be playing table stickball on that thing, did you? You aren't sure what table stickball is. Oh, you really are pretty simple, aren't you? It's like a miniature version of arena stickball, played on a table. Got it? You don't, but you nod. Now, go to it. You shackle the kid's arms and legs to the table. That seems to be the right thing to do, since the thing comes fitted with shackles. She gets up and lifts her huge tick-like pet. It makes more grumpy noises. She plops the enormous thing right down on the kid's chest. He appears rendered unable to protest. No, the poor kid! The poor kid! Poor kid. The tick bites the boy's neck and begins to feed. She smiles and pats its swelling abdomen. Dark rust-colored blood drips from the place where it has attached to the boy's neck. Moments go by while she looks gratified by the process, proud almost. Then she looks at you expectantly.
Well?
You don't know what she means.
The final screw. Aren't you going to retrieve it and screw it into wherever it needs to go? The job isn't done. I don't think the company of many individuals who leave things unfinished, you know.
Of course, what were you thinking? You should have known your friend wouldn't let that go unnoticed. Actually, you feel like an idiot for thinking it would. You stoop very low to the ground, on your knees, placing your cheek just above the floor. You peer under the large edifice. It's dark in there, and goes back a ways. Lots of room for that dang little screw to roll. You take a few pitiful swipes with your good arm, but come up empty. It must be further back. You think you can see it? Maybe that must be it. Just a little further. You have an idea. A tool would be helpful. I guess the screwdriver will come in handy after all. How did she know? Your new friend must be very wise. You think you're liking her more every minute.
I'm liking her less every minute.
You grab the screwdriver and feel around with it. Yes, you got it. You think. You carefully scrape it closer to yourself and then pick it up. And then go back to the table and find the one remaining hole you left unscrewed. You slide under the table. Oh no. As a mechanic would with a car. There it is. The table is creaking and wobbling quite a bit now. The tick is really getting into its dinner, it seems. All the loose screws in the table have added up to a lot of give and leeway in an overall stability of the furnishing. Maybe the final screw will help. Our data has returned to the setup with the monitors. She's adjusting some settings on the feed, controlling the zoom of the cameras, and typing some remarks into the chat window.
This is very good material today. It's not often I can provide content of this caliber to my subscribers. Go on, complete your project. This will be very good.
Yeah, and the table's just gonna fall on us. You still think it's weird that she likes watching you put furniture together so much, but you're not one to judge friends. Sounds like a good way to lose friends, honestly. You screw in the final screw, but the stress on the table and causing the hole to be misaligned, this won't be easy. The huge tick shifts its grotesque body above you, causing the table to creak loudly. You nervously slide halfway out from under the table to check it out. Then a loud pop, then the sound of scraping metal. 6 or 7 screws shoot out from the desk like rivets in a sinking submarine. What a piece of work this thing is. You think a little too late. You really needed that Allen wrench. All 4 legs splay dramatically out from underneath it at once. Like a baby deer on ice, the table platform comes crushing down on your lower torso. Breaking your pelvis, you bellow in pain and flail to pull yourself out. You forget that you're still holding a screwdriver. In your desperate flails, you plunge the screwdriver into the abdomen of the tick, which begins gushing rust blood with great force, spraying your entire upper body and face. Lovely. The beast starts thrashing wildly and screaming. You can't see your new friend due to the blood in your eyes, but you can't imagine she's thrilled about what's going on there. Your annihilated pelvis is in perfect agony. You have to get your miserable torso out from under the shitty table. You have an idea. With your broken arm, you start slamming the big butt of the screaming tick while yelling "Yeehaw!" and clutching the screwdriver handle with your other hand hard. I just saw her run, I think. The blood-gushing monster starts kicking and rearing, then blasts off across the dungeon floor like a pig in a rodeo. You hold on for dear life, still blind, but your plan works. You've been pulled out from under the tomb you spent the last hour constructing for yourself, and she ran back. Your pelvis is in ruins, but at least you're free now and riding like the wind. As you and the blood-spewing tick go tearing around the room, crashing into stuff, you hear a boy cry. And she's running across the other side again. You guess Ardat became distracted enough by your foolish display to cease her paralyzation method on him. Or maybe distracted is the wrong word. Maybe she's disappointed by your foolishness? Oh gods, you might be blowing it right now. The tick swerves suddenly and starts running up the stairs. Ow, ow, ow! Your brittle pelvis feels every step on the way up! It careens through the rest of the hive, crashing through the front door, then comes to a sudden halt. You're catapulted violently over its backside and sail 50 yards through the air. You lay on your ass, wipe the blood from your eyes. Okay, that wasn't embarrassing. But everyone makes mistakes, right? You can still salvage this friendship. You know you can. You turn back to look at her hive. Ardat is standing in her doorway with a furious look on her face. She is flipping you off. You will not be my friend. Rejection. So I don't think there's, like, a way to become her friend by choosing her, if I had to guess. Anyway, to Volume 2. You stumble through the streets of the strange alien world. Ever since you crash-landed on this hostile planet, you have been desperate. Desperate for information, for provisions, possibly for a bit of medical attention. Along the way, you've made some laughs, embarrassing missteps, and maybe even an encounter with alien meat products? You don't really want to get into it. What you do want to get into is friendship. An entire plan list of endless friend opportunities awaits you. Honestly, at this point, you'd make friends with one of those weird purple bushes. You're not picky. Wait, you see something in the distance, or perhaps someone? Both of them look pretty nice. I don't know which one to choose. I'm gonna wait a moment and chat can tell me which one to choose while I take another drink of water, because water is good. I can wait for chat to choose Amicia or Sirava. Or you can say blue or yellow. Blue or yellow. Blue or yellow is the name of the game. Blue or yellow, blue or yellow. Blue or yellow. Okay. Yes, a potential new friend approaches, and they almost look as messed up as you are! Whoa, what the fuck, Lamau? You an alien? What, no, did I miss something? Nope. You nod enthusiastically. You sure hope your prospective new friend is comfortable with extraterrestrials. Things could get pretty awkward otherwise. You should really, not be outside, Lamau. Freaks like you will get picked off by drones in a hot second. No offense, Lamau. You don't like the sound of being picked off by drones. That would really inhibit your companionship plans. You hastily explain to this strange, one-eyed troll that you crash-landed on this planet and are in desperate search of friendship. Your plight seems to move them. Well, shit. If you really don't have anywhere to be, I promised myself I wouldn't do anything risky. But what the hell, Lamau? Come with me. My name's Caravan? I'm gonna say Caravan. Caravan. Name's Caravan, by the way. You follow Caravan down a twisted stretch of road. Wow, this is going great already. You bet you're a new friend. You bet you'll have a new friend in no time. Alright, here's my hive. You're gonna hide out here for now. I got a lot of followers who are pretty into aliens. They might get a kick out of this, Lamau. You look around Caravan's hive in awe. They sure seem to have a batshit crazy taste in home decor. I think it looks pretty cool. Checking out my aesthetic. I worked pretty hard putting this place together. It's all about the look of the BG when you're streaming Lamau. The look of the background when you're streaming Lamau. Don't all my fans think I live in a freaking dump and spend most of my day depressed and crying, Lamau. You like Moisture Wave? I'm gonna be honest and say I don't know what Moisture Wave is. Seriously? If you don't even know Moisture Wave, I like, can't really see why you would want to be friends with me, Lamau. Cause to be honest, I don't even know how to explain it to you. You just have to, get it. Servan considers you for a long moment. Actually, yeah, this isn't gonna work out. Get out of my hive. No! No! Okay. Time to retry that. Oh yeah, I love it. You have no idea what the hell a Moisture Wave is, but you don't want to offend your new friend. You tell them you love it. Word. I'm actually streaming some chill beats as we speak. Check it. They gesture towards their strangely bulbous alien computer. On the screen is a grub tube channel, lo-fi aesthetic, incubated beats. Wow, they sure have a lot of subscribers. You ask them if they drew that very nice anime girl they're using as splash art. Nah, I just ripped it off some Eastern alternative movie and recolored it to look like me. Fucking nailed it, Lamau. You nod vigorously. This is very impressive. Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal online. I built my own streaming empire. Work my ass off, Lamau. Nurse these beats to health from tragic ill sample loops. It's not all fun and games, though. The life of a popular online guy. You can't even imagine the hardships I've gone through. All in the name of lo-fi chill hop aesthetic Moisture Wave beats. That shit keeps me up at night. Servan looks into the middle distance pensively, their one eye filled with potent emotion. You never knew the life of a streamer could be so vaguely filled with torment. You're moved to cry a single tear. Yeah, you get it. You're really vibing in my emotional frequency, my dude. You know, you gotta suffer for popularity. You nod enthusiastically. You don't think you've ever been particularly popular, but you're very good at suffering. This is going great. I wish I could say more. Really get all emotionally vulnerable and share my tragic backstory, but ever since the incident, it's been so hard to trust new people, Lamau. You feel me? The incident? This is so tantalizing. You just know that if you want to make a new friend, you're going to have to get them to confess their deepest insecurities and embarrassing secrets to you. That is how friendship works. You place a sympathizing hand on Serva's shoulder. You know what, dude? You really want to be friends? Yes! Yes! You can't believe how pain-free and easy this experience has been! What a wonderful new friend you're about to make! You can practically feel the future bro embraces you two will surely share. They feel good. They feel right. Haha. You sure are eager. But if we're gonna be friends, we have got to work on your look. Your aesthetic is basically hot garbage right now, Lamau. My followers can't see me hanging out with a freaking rando like this. I'm sure you understand. You aren't quite sure you follow? What's wrong with your look? You've always thought you had this simplistic charm. A face you could put on a logo. You're not sure if you're ready to change up the tried and true classic for a newfangled teen. But you are so thirsty for Servan's sweet friendship nectar. You need to taste it. You hate to taste it. You have to taste it. With a friend like them, you could really go places. You could be someone. You could finally be down with the hip youth of today. You tell Serva you're willing to try something to get into the esteemed ranks of their friends list. Well, damn. One moment. Sorry, just casual friendly interruptions. Hold up, I've got an idea, Lamau. Hold me. Follow me. Sorry, not hold me. Hold me! Follow me. Sarava leads you up the winding stairs of their hive. Lining the walls are pictures of Sarava in strange poses in several different locations. They are surrounded by a few trolls you don't recognize. In similar silly fashions, fellow members of the Moisture Wave community, possibly? I really gotta take that shit down. They're all dead to me, Lamau. Why? You wanna ask if they meant that literally or not? You never know with trolls. But you keep your mouth shut. Best not to offend your new friend. Let's just move on and never speak of this again. Okay, sounds good. Sarava leads you into a fairly large lo-fi bedroom. This room is a bit less ostentatious than the streaming area downstairs. Well, here we are, Lamau. Welcome to my respite block. We gonna get you hooked up, Lamau. If you're gonna be my new friend, you gotta look the part. For streams and stuff, We have to make you a chitter account too. It's good for my image to have friends, Lamau. The pickings have been pretty slim ever since the incident. On that ominous note, Sarava presses a button on the wall. A large door opens to reveal an expansive walk-in closet filled with... Yawn. Walk-in closet filled with colorful accessories and clothes. It looks like a regular passion neon shirtapocalypse. We'll have at it. Unless you want me to help you pick out your look, Lamau. I would like help picking out my look. You admit you have no idea how to dress yourself. You could really use some expert advice from a teen. Oh shit. Cue the makeover sequence, bish. I'm gonna make you look aesthetic as fuck, Lamau. You stand in the center of Sarava's room for a good hour as they go back and forth between various fashion items. Man, this troll is really indecisive. You think you're gonna go blind from all the neon in here? Okay. I'm done now. That was surprisingly hard. You have a hard to dress body, Lamau. Just in general, you're kind of fricked up looking, to be honest. It's chill though. 'Cause now you look fly as hell. You look at yourself in the mirror. Wow! Radical neato! I mean... that is one look. Iconic. I totally don't just look very much like him. Now we just gotta get you set up on the social medias, my dude. But first, selfie time, Lamau! You take a variety of cool selfies with Sarava. Wow, this is really going well. Alright, I'm just gonna post these and promo you. You'll be internet famous in no time. Then we can finally be friends, Lamau. That's what it's all about, baby. That's what you've been working towards this entire time. Sarava's friendship is so close, you can smell it. It smells pretty dank. Seems like people are really into you. Check it out. It's true. The likes and comments and subscribers are just rolling in, huh? At this rate, you'll be more popular than me. You assure Sarava that this will definitely never happen. All your true desire is friendship, not fans. That's what they all say. All my so-called friends, they were only in it 'cause I was popular. No one ever gave a shit about me as a person, Lamau. I'm just a funny meme to them. Just a guy they can copy. You know, high bloods are always stealing my work, my look, my music. I'm the real influencer, but there's violet bloods out there taking my shit and getting twice the followers and tons of money. I'm stuck here in the shit hive with no friends because they all turned on me. But it's cool. It's chill. I'm totally chill with it, Lamau. Something shifts in Sarava's expression as they get a good look at you. You tense up. Your new friend sure is acting weird. Ding! Ah, wait. Ding! Sarava checks the notification on their phone. What the hell? Did you do? Huh? What? You didn't do anything! You think you can just steal my look and get away with it? You dressed us, sir! All my followers think you're the new big thing because you look like me. They want to know what the hell's going on. When's your new friends stream? What's their sign? Are you kidding me? You haven't even done anything. You're just like all the rest. No, you don't want to be like all the rest. We just want to be friends. It's too late for that now. You've made me look like an idiot. And now there's only one thing to do. I really didn't want it to come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm writing a call-out post! No! Seriously? Seriously? Sarava types furiously on their device. You can't stand to look. This is the worst possible thing that could have happened. Now, no one will be your friend ever again. You'll be forced to live on the outskirts of society, a pariah. You can't even begin to imagine all the things that Sarava must be writing about you. You must have fucked up so many things in your life to lead you to this point. There's only one thing to do. You stagger downstairs, past all the portraits of Sarava's ex-friends. You wonder if they met the same horrible fate as you. Their grinning faces taunt you with the slivers of friendship that could never be. You burst out the front door of Sarava's hive and make your way to the conveniently placed stump. You sit on it in complete despair. There's no point in living anymore. With trembling hands, you reach inside. Well, that was dark. What if I dressed myself? Okay, let's try dressing myself this time. Okay, skip. Oh yeah, I love it. Skip. Pick out your own look. Sarava, you let Sarava know you're perfectly comfortable picking out your own look. You think you can figure out this fashion business easily enough? What could possibly go wrong? This is child's play. Yeah, man. Fashion is just all about, like, what you're feeling. It's also what's trending, but you know, we're the ones that start the trends. You strike me as a real influencer, Lamau. Go for it, my dude. As you enter the closet tentatively, you look at Sarava. As soon as Sarava is out of sight, your stupid ego deflates like a farting balloon. You don't know the first thing about hip youth alien fashion of today. This is going to be an absolute shit show. You reckon you are fully prepared to make an utter fool of yourself. Well, might as well get started. You pick out a few accessories off of the shelves at random. A bright pink hat? Sure. You tilt it jauntily to the side. You're pretty sure that's cool. Sunglasses? Definitely. That's a no-brainer. No cool guy would be caught dead without a sweet pair of shades. You select the most ostentatious pair available. You think you're getting the hang of this moisture wave aesthetic. You just have to look like the biggest tool possible. Several accessories later. Wow, radical, neato. Very much a different look than his. Oh my. Fuck. This shit is transcendent. Wow. You got me speechless, just. Dang. Look at you. It's like you're a whole new guy. A much chiller and cooler guy who I now gotta be friends with. Gotta be friends with right now immediately. Now all we gotta do is debut you to my hundreds of thousands of followers, Lamau. This is gonna be so freaking great. Let's take some selfies. Your heart is soaring. You did it. You really did it. You're down with the kids. You and Sarava. And now Sarava wants to take the coveted selfies with you. This night couldn't be going any better. You may look like a complete a-hole, but if it can win your popularity with a bunch of alien teenagers, then an a-hole you will be. Selling out is amazing. Well, what are you waiting for? Get over here. We're gonna take some selfies. You pose with Sarava for several selfies. They put their arm around you in a gesture of newly formed friendship. You are beaming with friend pride. Oh, hell yeah. These are turning out great. Dang. We're killing it. Now all I gotta do is post them. Sarava fiddles around with their phone for a while. You're so nervous. You've never been internet famous before. You hope the new frame won't change too much. Or maybe you do hope it will change you? Change you into someone with tons of friends? And the likes are rolling in. Oh yeah. I live for this shit. Haha, this one guy is asking if you want any of your quadrant filled. I am not going to ask what that is. Oh, and this girl loves your shades. Damn, a lot of these people are asking if you're single, Mal. Don't go for it, though. My followers are freaking freaks, dude. You aren't quite sure what a quadrant is? Sounds like some kind of freaked up alien ritual. But if it's anything like friendship, you're all for it. Welcome to my twisted internet fame, Lamau. Let's chill out and listen to some beats. You vape? I got a pretty juicy rig downstairs. Okay, so I think dressing myself was the right choice. Before you know it, you're sitting on Sarava's couch, watching them finagle with a horrifyingly elaborate vape rig that appears to be made out of some sort of living larvae? You don't want to know. Sarava places their mouth on what surely must be the bug's anus and inhales deeply. The rig makes an awful high-pitched rattling noise. You think you're gonna vomit. Oh man, that's the good stuff. Here you go, my dude. You take the trembling insect into your hands. Well, here goes. The final hurdle to eternal friendship and popularity. You vape vigorously, inhaling as much as you can. The vapor fills your lungs immediately. It burns a lot. You suddenly realize that you're not quite sure if this alien vape juice is compatible with your anatomy. You could have just inhaled a bug ass full of poison like a freaking idiot. What a way to die. Your vision swims. Yeah, you got it. Just hold it in, Lamau. Tears stream down your face as you hold in your double lung full of insect gas. You sure are glad you have your pair of cool shades, or you would never be able to live this embarrassment down. You're not sure how long you're supposed to do this, as long as it takes. You can exhale now. You cough and sputter. Green vapor spews from your mouth straight into Sarava's face. You did it! You lived! Oh man, that was sick. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Your head feels... Goodness, stop! I don't like this. Your head feels light and woozy and you jiggle. Do not bring that statue back in here. Haha. That alien words might be worse. Yeah. You two are kicking. The two of you kick back and relax on the couch as you stare up at the ceiling. A horse. Seriously? Whoa, when did that huge wasp nest get there? Haha, crazy man. That huge wasp nest has been there that whole time. Sarava's music suddenly sounds a lot more interesting. Dude, today has been way chiller than I ever expected, Lamau. You are officially my best friend for life. Cool. Just promise me you'll never betray me, Lamau. You promise. This is incredible. You love your new friend. You watch as they effortlessly take another huge rip from their vape rig. I've been burned in the past, Lamau. It's not easy being popular online, especially as a low blood. I used to be such a friggin' big shot. Got into... What? Sorry. One moment. I do not want to quit. It just seems like something's happened. Just give me a moment. Actually, I have... Please be patient. Okay, and we are back.
Got into sassy fights with neighbor with Highbloods on Chitter. Always had some shit to say, Lamau. Oh my gosh, that shit got out of control. I'm a psionic, so bitches started reporting me as way more powerful than I really am, Lamau. Trying to get me all enslaved and shit so I couldn't keep up with my streams. It's all jealousy, you know? My stupid ass friends all turned on me so they wouldn't be targeted next, Lamau. So I took matters into my own hands. Gouged out my own freaking eye. It was sick as fuck. Can't use me as a battery, bitch. I still got a big following, but I don't really talk online anymore, Lamau. Better just stay under the radar and not piss people off. Just be chill. And if I don't get close to my followers, they can't try and use me. Of course, that just means I no longer have any gosh dang friends, Lamau. Well, until you. You are truly moved. What a special bond you have formed with your new friend. To have them open up to you about their darkest secrets. This is the most significant and transcendent moment you have ever experienced. The two of you share a beautiful and tender bro embrace, the likes of which will never be replicated in this known universe again. For all time. Forever. Probably. You don't really know. You're high as frick right now.
High time! Cool. Good ending. Got a good ending. Time for the other character. Amasira. Amasira. Going with Amasira. Wow, already even more poetic.
Lo, what light through yonder weirdly organic architecture breaks. A small figure approaches.
Oh my gosh! You are so...
So far, you've swallowed quite a few insults in regards to your looks and intelligence level. You aren't really the type to let the shallow opinions of others get you down. But it's been kind of a rough day. You brace yourself.
Cute!
Oh! I like her already.
She gives you a sweet, sincere smile.
I like her. She's good. I like her.
I've never seen anything like you! It gives me all sorts of new ideas!
Boy, do you hope some of those ideas are about friendship! Now that you've got a taste of it, you are hungry for more. You take a stumbling step forward, and your ribs remind you that although the potential of camaraderie is enough to improve your mental health, it can't cure acute injuries.
Oh! You don't look so good. Come inside! I've been looking for new contributors.
Yes, she's cute, and she says that I'm cute. It's lovely! Contributors? Could she mean friendship contributors? No, that's dumb. Maybe she runs some sort of alien newspaper and she wants you on staff? She looks a little young for that. But what the heck do you know about alien management hierarchy? You follow her into a nearby building, and now that you're looking up from your ravenous hunt from companionship, you notice that you've wandered into kind of an upscale part of town. There's a lot less garbage and people collapsed in the street. You see one of those spiky robot things, but it's washing a window instead of shooting a laser at a group of children. If that's not high class, you don't know what is. Before you can follow her inside, she turns around in the threshold, blocking your way.
Real quick. You don't happen to be an artist, do you?
Artistry? Well, as a matter of fact... Heck yeah! Tell her, yeah, it isn't exactly your whole deal, but you've been known to dabble.
Oh, I see how it is. Well, you aren't going to snake rodent any trade secrets out of me. Goodbye.
What? What? Okay. Time to retry that. I thought you would like a fellow artist. Guess I was wrong. No, you've never had much of a knack for it.
Oh, good. Friendship between artists can be so fraught. Much better to just keep things between artists and art appreciators.
Okay.
That way no one can get jealous.
The girl's smile widens even further, and you feel an unbelievable rush of joy. Have you finally found someone who isn't a total freaking maniac? And she brought up friendship without you having to mention it at all. It puts a spring in your step, or as much of a spring as possible with a broken arm and misaligned torso. Amicia leads you into the elevator with buttons labeled in spiky letters that make absolutely no sense to you. You realize that probably nothing is ever going to make sense to you again. That's okay. Your hierarchy of needs has adjusted recently. Your new friend. You are jumping the gun with this descriptor, but you are feeling seriously good about this encounter. Stands in the corner of the elevator, wringing her claws.
I wish I'd known I was going to have company. I would have cleaned up a little. It's been a while since I've met anyone new.
You assure her that whatever disaster her house is, it can't be any worse than some other places you've seen. Although you kind of get what she means, she's wearing an artist's smock that's covered in the splatters of paint. Actually, it doesn't really look like paint, but it couldn't be anything else, could it? It's every color of the rainbow. Girl, it better be paint! The elevator door slides open, and you step into the space that you are relieved to find is totally recognizable. A table overflowing with messy palettes and brushes, cloudy jars of water and sponges, several easels stand beside the windows to catch the light of the two moons, and a number of canvases lean against the wall, turned so you can't see what's on them.
First things first.
Amicia brings over a wall screen that looks way more high-tech than anything you have on your now-defunct spaceship. Tapping away at a series of readable symbols, she then indicates you should take off your sling. Oh! So this is the continuation of the previous guy with the... But... Wait. Whatever. Okay, taking off sling.
Here. Go ahead and stick it in there.
She seems to want you to put your injured arm into a large hole in the wall, which you do because you are sure your new friend has your best interests at heart. The hole shrinks down like a blood pressure cuff, sending bolts of agony through you. You want to yank your arm back out, but you don't. Even if it's broken, you still like having it attached to you. Instead, you shout a lot and thrash your other limbs around.
Calm down, you big wriggler. It's like you've never seen a medicalizer before. If you don't stop moving, it won't work.
Tears spill down your cheeks as you force yourself still. You'll bear the pain. You'll do it for your friend. She looks at you hopefully, and she's so delicate and pretty, almost angelic. You look at her face and tell yourself it's all going to be okay. Finally, the hole releases, and you pull your arm back out to find it completely healed. You can move your fingers. It doesn't even hurt anymore. Hey, things are looking up.
See? I told you!
This is great! You are overwhelmed with the urge to celebrate. I'm gonna dance in her room? You try to resist the urge to celebrate. You fail to resist the urge. You take Amicia by her tiny hand and twirl her around the studio. Or try to. You forgot about your busted rib. You sure are doing that a lot. You let go of Amicia and go careening into one of the tables. Thankfully, not the one covered in art supplies. You hit the corner and go down onto your already incredibly sore ass. This is what you get for acting like a huge freaking tool in front of your new friend.
Are you okay? Is that some sort of ritualistic rite of healing I've never heard about?
You shrug against the floor. Amicia leans down and picks you up in bridal carry. How strong is she? Despite the fact that she's about half your size. It makes your ribs hurt. But what doesn't nowadays? Amicia lays you down on a weird lumpy couch.
Are you sure you're okay? You look a little...
She trails off to nothing. She looks at your left arm, which you have draped over yourself awkwardly, to sort of try and hold your torso together.
That color.
At first you think she means the color of your skin, which is different than her light gray. Then you think she means the truly fascinating buffet of bruises you've got going on. But then you realize that your prancing idiocy, you've managed to scrape up the inside of your arm. Blood oozes sluggishly from the wound. Amicia dredges a finger through it. You're half expecting her to put it in her mouth, and for this to become a whole cannibal situation. Well, since you aren't the same species, it wouldn't really be cannibalism, but still, no thanks. Instead, Amicia holds her finger up and drips the drop of blood trembling on the tip.
This color. I've never seen anything like it!
She dashes off to one of her tables, pulls over a sketchbook, and drags her finger down it. Your blood paints a rusty line down the center. She lets out a little squeak of excitement. I hope this isn't going to become me being a flesh bag of blood for her.
This is amazing!
What, red?
Not red! This is a million dirty little rusties swarming all over this... There's a million dirty little rusties swarming all over the city. I'm drowning in red. This is crimson. It's incredible. You must be some sort of mutant. You're really lucky. I found you instead of one of the drones. Lucky?
You, ha ha ha. Yes, very lucky, the luckiest. Though your arm is healed and you're out of whatever doubtless weird weather happens in this planet, maybe Amicia's right. Maybe you are lucky. You close your eyes and try to breathe. Zen yourself out. Really center yourself in your own body and all that garbage. Then you open your eyes, and whoa! You sure aren't centered anymore. In fact, you roll completely to the left as you try to get away from Amicia, who is back and standing over you with a gigantic axe.
Watch out!
Amicia grabs you, drags you back onto the couch, and plants her hand on your solar plexus, effectively pinning you down.
You'll hurt yourself if you keep flopping around like a beached blooper beast. You want to be friends, don't you? You want to help me with my artistic aspirations, right?
You get the feeling that she might be trying to manipulate you. Just the tiniest little suspicion. It's possible Amnesia has recognized your intense craving for companionship and is trying to exploit it. You don't like being suspicious of your new friend, but that is a pretty big axe.
I don't know what's got you so worried. I just want to show you my axe.
Oh, of course, makes sense. It is a really nice axe. You hold out your hand for it, but of course it is too heavy for you, and your hands are all sweaty from your and you fumble it. Fumble the really sharp weapon. Amnesia tries to catch it before it's too late, and somehow, in all the wriggling struggle, you end up getting cut, like, very cut, across both your wrists. In fact, you don't think she could have aimed even better if she'd been trying.
Oh dear.
Hard agree.
Don't struggle. You'll only hurt yourself more, silly. You don't want that, do you?
No, you definitely don't want that. Not after what a Butterfingers you've proven to be. Amnesia gets up to put the axe down, and you kind of lose track of her for a little while. You are bleeding all over her couch, and everything around you starts to go shiny and unreal. She comes back with a couple little jars that she uses to catch your blood. That's a good idea. You sure are making a mess. You wonder if they're especially blood jars. They look like jam jars. Alien jam. Alien jam. Space jam. God, you really love that movie. It's been so long since you've seen it. Definitely the best PG movie about basketball. Way better than that one with the dog and the clown. Do they even have basketball here? You ask him, Amnesia. She just shushes you and brushes your hair back off your forehead. She keeps smiling and saying comforting things. God, she's such a good friend. Before too long, you do what it's honestly a god's shock you haven't done before now. You pass out. When you come to, you are propped up against the wall in a weird way that you wouldn't love even if you weren't invaded, and both of your arms were jammed in the hole in the wall. The med hole. The glory hole of well-being. The magic's sphincter. You grunt and pull your arms back out. They're healed. The cuts on your wrists are just 2 faded pink lines. You take a step away from the wall and immediately hit the ground. You may not be actively dying anymore, but you did just lose like half the blood in your body. Gosh, you're tired. A little giggle makes you turn around, or roll over since you are still on the floor and probably not getting up anytime soon. It's fine. You've met worse floors in your life. Amnesia is sitting at one of her easels, her hair pulled back beneath a scarf, and little round glasses perched on her nose. A jar of your blood sits next to her, and as you watch, she dips a brush in it.
I'm glad you're awake! I was a little worried I'd actually killed you back there.
She laughs, and you laugh along with her. It's very funny. Actually, everything is funny right now. It's probably the blood loss. You ask her what she's painting.
You, of course! You inspired me!
Well, right now it just looks like a bunch of red squiggles and some lines, but she only just got started. She's warming up. She sits there on her stool, looking at her palette and chewing on her lip thoughtfully. She looks somewhat nervous.
Actually, I want to show you something. Something I've never shown anyone else.
She leaps up from her stool and crosses the studio. You roll to your other side and keep her in your line of sight. You really hope she isn't getting another Space Jam jar. She starts turning around the canvases, one by one. They're all blank, except for one, which has a little... Wait, no, that's just a shadow. Every single one of them is blank. You aren't sure you understand. You ask her if these are all just new canvases that she has not gotten the chance to paint yet. Amnesia sighs.
No, I've had them forever. Not a real painter. There, I said it.
She buries her face in her hands, talking from between her fingers.
I'm really good at all other parts. The materials in the studio, even making all my own paints. I just can never do the actual sitting down and doing art part.
She looks so despondent. You wish you could do something, but you just don't really know that much about art, and you probably can't stand up yet. You tell her that she looks like she's moving in the right direction at least. You don't even have a studio, or any brushes, or stuff like that. Of course you have no aspirations to be an artist, a painter, but you leave that part out. I mean, I personally do have a bit, but that's a different story.
That's just it. I feel inspired for the first time ever. I think that it has to be your messed up, disgusting mutant blood.
Excuse you!
There's really no other explanation.
She takes a knee beside you, picking up one of your limp hands with hers. They're cold, like she's been pressing them to a glass window in winter.
Usually, I just finish off my contributors quickly. I don't have time to deal with a bunch of injured low bloods moaning around my studio. But I couldn't just use your blood up all at once. You're far too special for that.
You gaze at Amnesia. A mist has descended over your vision, and it isn't even the mist of imminent death.
I have to keep this precious blood safe. I think you might be my muse.
You will never escape! Okay. I mean, there's worse fates, I think. Anyway, there was one other option that I want to check with her, because I need to see what happens if I don't dance around. Be chill about it. You thank Amnesia profusely, but you manage to keep it to a strictly verbal sort. Medicalizers are great. This part of the city is great. You really need to get more rich friends. You tell her this, throwing in a compliment of her studio while you're at it. See, this friendship stuff is easy.
I'm glad you feel that way. You are obviously really strange and under-socialized. But you don't seem to be a complete cultural idiot. Plus, I think it's really endearing how helpless and trusting you are.
You laugh, slightly unnerved. You want to take that as a compliment, but after a recent encounter with another girl in blue... Well, it all ends up okay. Well, it all ended up okay. And Amnesia is so nice and friendly, and she keeps calling you cute, which you think is pretty generous of her, considering that what a disgusting mess you are at this point.
Speaking of low bloods, what's your blood color? Just out of curiosity.
Blood color? You aren't really sure what she's talking about, but red? You tell her it's red. She looks a little disappointed.
I got plenty of burgundy. Oh well. Good thing I have a delivery coming soon. Hey, do you think you can help me set a few things up before they get here?
They? Visitors? As in plural? As in multiple potential friends? Oh, hell yes! You are all over that, especially considering your newly healed arm. You are anxious to display all the simple motor function. You are anxious to display all the simple motor functions you can perform. Amnesia gives you another radiant smile. You live for those smiles, man. They're just so full of the glowing nectar of bromance.
Perfect! Let's do this! Work always goes faster with 2 pairs of hands after all.
Yes, absolutely it does. And even if by that she also means her hands are pointing while she tells you where to put things, you're totally fine with that. Your ribs are still kind of killing you, but you swallow down the pain. You're getting pretty good at that. Too bad you can't stick your whole torso into the medical science fiction hole in the wall. Well, maybe you could, but not right now. Right now, you've got a friend to help. Amnesia instructs you to clear all the furniture to the edge of the room and lay down a big purple tarp. Apparently, tarps aren't blue in this planet. Amnesia answers her phone and buzzes open the apartment door. She runs over to the elevator with a squeal of delight.
They're here! Sorry, I'm getting so giggly about this. It's just been a while since I've had any new paints.
Wait, paints? That's what's coming? Now that you think about it, there is something pretty crucial missing from this whole artist aesthetic she's got going here. There aren't any paints. No tubes dripping color, or pots with their tops left partially unscrewed. There aren't even any pencils. The elevator opens and 2 trolls come in. They have pretty similar shaped horns and are almost the exact same height. Brothers? Do trolls have brothers? From their uniforms and the douchy, swaggering way they walk, you get the idea that they are some sort of law enforcement. That, and the third troll is handcuffs. The third troll in handcuffs they're dragging between them.
Thank you, guys! You always bring me the best materials.
They don't say anything. They just bring the third troll into the center of the tarp and force them into a kneeling position. Then they bow to Amnesia and leave the way they came. This doesn't look great, even before Amnesia runs out of the room and comes back in with an axe the size of her whole body. You are not loving this. The troll on the tarp trembles and bites back a sob, but they don't say anything or try to run. She isn't really going to do what it looks like is she? You can't bring yourself to believe that this cute little alien girl is going to straight up axe murder a dude right in front of you, presumably to finger paint with their blood. You stammer something to this effect. Amnesia laughs.
Well, I don't use my fingers. I'm not a fucking animal.
She considers you for a few moments, tapping a claw against her mouth.
I know. You can help me. I only ever let one other person help me with my work. And she's out of town right now.
I bet it's the blue blood that we dislike.
But you and I have a connection. You feel it too, right?
You do. Gods, you do. You've been feeling it so much lately. For everyone you meet, you thought you had maybe come across someone who would readily accept your platonic longings without putting you through the ringer first.
You do want to help me, don't you?
You do. You want that more than anything. Amnesia looks at you solemnly.
Why don't you do the honors?
She holds out her axe.
I wouldn't offer this to just anyone, but I can tell how special you are.
You're trembling. The other blue blood is still in town? Okay. Oh well then. You're trembling. The troll on the tarp is also trembling. But unlike you, they seem to have accepted their fate. Slowly, inevitably, you hold out your hands for the axe. Amnesia gives it to you with a smile.
God damn it.
You forgot about your broken ribs, and that you're a human and can't just pick up gigantic freaking axes with one hand. You drop it and it bounces away from you, like way more than you think an axe should probably bounce. You look up at Amnesia from where you're doubled over with pain and shame. She laughs and scampers over to retrieve the axe, once again swinging it up without any signs of strain. She doesn't even have any visible muscles. What is this girl made out of?
How silly of me. You seem so culturally advanced that for a second I forgot about your natural inferiority.
Rude. Rude.
Here, I'll give you a second chance.
You nod. Yes, please. A second chance that does not include committing gruesome murder.
Usually I just use chains, but I've got a better idea.
Oh God. You get what she wants you to do. You hesitate and Amnesia smiles and gets even sweeter. Sweet like poison.
Oh? You don't want to help me?
The tarp crinkles underneath you as you kneel. You grasp the troll's shoulders and mumble an apology. They continue to say nothing. Amnesia sharpens her axe, which already looked pretty dang sharp.
Hold on tight.
You try. You really do. The problem is, you try to hold on tight, but at the same time you try to drag the troll out of the way. Some buried instincts to try and preserve life rising up inside you. You're weak and injured, though, so all you end up doing is just flopping both of you a little to the side. Instead of coming down on the neck in a clean slice, Amnesia's axe glances off the troll's collarbone, mortally wounding them instead of killing them outright. And now you know why they have not been begging for their life. They don't have a tongue, so they can't beg, but they sure can yell and thrash and bleed olive green alien blood all over you and the tarp. Gods, there's so much blood. It's just spurting everywhere. Jeez, you are such an idiot. Why couldn't you just commit? Now you're covered in dying alien, and so is everything else. Amnesia, the work table, and most direly the canvases leaning against the wall. Amnesia takes one look at them and lets out a wail of rage.
I can't believe this! I let you into my hive, into my life! I was planning on to let you into my pusher! I thought you were a refined sophisticate!
This society is not refined at all.
But now I see you're just a Philistine!
She gives you a shove towards the elevator. Your ribs are screaming, and so is the bleeding troll. You try to babble an explanation.
Forget it! I don't want to hear your excuses! Chahat was right. If you want someone killed right, you have to kill them yourself!
You ride the elevator back down, kneeling in a pool of blood and failure. Terrible at murder. Okay. I'm going to once again end up asking about opinions on the two options, and we'll be drinking water at that pause. Putting one foot in front of the other, you continue on through this strange alien world. Just when you think stuff is beginning to make sense, it all slips through your fingers and becomes even stranger and more alien. There does, however, seem to be one thing that remains constant through all planets and walks of life. The thing is friendship. You are on the prowl for more. It would have perhaps been wise to stay with one of your wonderful new friends until you are fully healed. But as Martha Stewart said, visitors like fish began to smell after 3 days. You are almost positive Martha Stewart said that. Nevertheless, you soldier on in your endless quest for companionship. Where will your travels take you next? Skyla or Bronya? And I need to drink more water. They both seem fun.
Anyway, chat waiting for you. Skylit is. As dawn approaches, you find yourself heading out of the big city and into the rustic outskirts. Man, the sun sure is bright on this planet. It's rising over the crest of the distant hills, a huge fiery ball. Waiting because of the delay you have set. Yes, I know. Distant hills, a huge fireball. The latter. I should work on my delay then, because I haven't messed with my delay. I don't need a delay, but it does help with the stream quality. Anyway, the latter is. The later it gets, the bigger and bigger it grows. Way bigger than you've seen the sun on Earth. What's that smell? Could it be your flesh beginning to sizzle? Fantastic! You love the country. No wonder the nightlife seems so active on Alternia. They're all nocturnal to avoid brutal daily roasting. You reach into your pocket for your cool new shades. Oh, wait, why did we leave our friend? Why did we leave Streamer Friend? Why would we leave Streamer Friend? You reach into your pocket for your cool new shades, but you appear to have left them at your friend's house. Why would we leave Streamer Friend? You gotta get yourself together. The recent physical trauma and extensive blood loss has made you a bit fuzzy. Okay, that does not sound like Streamer Friend. That sounds like we somehow got out of the good ending of Amnesia. Has you a little fuzzy. You weren't built for this wilderness survival stuff. You're starting to wish you'd just stolen a freaking Lamborghini or something instead of a spaceship. This seriously isn't looking good. The city is too far away now for you to turn back, so you have no choice but to keep walking. Maybe you can find a cave or a hole in the ground. Maybe you can just cover yourself with grass. You wish that someone had mentioned the Death Sun in between offering you alien meat products and calling you their muse. Great storyline. This is an amazing storyline. After you're left in the distance, you catch sight of what might be the shimmer of sunlight on glass. A window? A solar pane? You could seriously clean up with renewable energy on this planet. Should you change your trajectory to go towards the shimmer? It might just be a mirage. I guess for now I'm going towards the shimmer. You turn your aching, stinging meat sack towards the distant promising sparkle of safety and succor. You focus on just staying upright. One step at a time. Just keep swimming or whatever. Nadaremos, nadaremos. Gods, the sun, though. You need SPF 5 million for this nonsense. But then, almost like it had picked itself up to some sculling to meet you, you suddenly find yourself in front of a long, low structure. You let out a yelp of anguish, pounding on the door. At least you hope it's the door. What in the world? The door opens and you fall inside with one of the most pathetic whimpers of your career. Blessed darkness closes in on you. From right beside you comes a
snuffling yip, like some joker is making fun of your dire situation. Something warm and wet glides up your stinging cheek. Hold on, lady. Give him some room. A pair of hands help you sit up. Gently. Your eyes haven't adjusted enough to make out more than a couple shapes, one upright and one lower to the ground. What were you doing out there? Can you stand? Strong arms pull you to your feet. You wonder if everyone on this planet is strong, or if you are just extremely flimsy. They guide you to a chair at the end of a long table. Stutteringly, you begin to explain yourself. That you are an injured, exhausted traveler who is ravenous for pals. Well, bless your heart. But hold on a tick. Dinner's about to burn. Now that your rescuer mentions it, you do smell something. It smells amazing. Funny you should ask, just blunder in here like that. I was just saying, wasn't I, lady? It's been so long since we had any sort of guests who weren't Imperial drones out to rob us. You rub at your watering, slowly clearing eyes, and when you look back at your rescuer, finally comes into focus. She's taller than anyone else you've met here, you think? Almost like a little older? Not that you're an expert in troll physiology. She just has an air of knowledgeable competence. She's wearing a fringed jacket and holding up a plate. There you go. Your osculars feeling any better? By the by, my name is Skylar. Pleasure to meet you. And this here is Lady. Oh gosh, Lady is horrifying! She looks down, and at first you think she means the table. But then you look under at the table at the giant monster dog looking up at you. You jolt so hard you almost fly backwards out of your chair. Whoa there! No need for theatrics. You look a little closer at those lazy dogs with the... It looks a little like one of those lassie dogs with the pointed nose, except enormous and pure white, and its bark practically shakes the whole house. Hey there, lady. No need to be rude. They've clearly had one hell of a time, and they're not looking dangerous. Just really peculiar. Besides, if they try anything, you and me can take 'em. Skylar puts her hands on her hips, staring you down with thunderous yellow eyes. Right? No funny business? You hear? You swallow and nod, trying to look unthreatening and obliging. Ready for anything. For instance, friendship! You are so ready for that! Skyla sets down the plate she's holding. Here, have a grum cake. There's plenty. That sounds gross as hell, but they're sitting on the plate. Looks and smells exactly like a normal pancake, golden brown and crispy at the edges. There's boiled tree blood too, if you like. Syrup! Also churned dairy product. Butter? Butter! She puts down a carafe of syrup and a dish of butter. Man, everything here has really weird names. Skylar pours out a cup of some very familiar smelling liquid. Brown bean juice, you guess? Skylar raises an eyebrow. No? That's just coffee. She sits down next to you. You're lucky you were only out of the light of dawn. Nobody wants to be out at direct alternating sunlight besides jade bloods. And no offense, but you certainly ain't any jade blood that I've ever seen. At first I thought you were some sort of mutated Lusus? Cause you don't have have horns, and you were grunting and yipping up a storm back there. But you're an alien, right? Don't worry. I won't call the drones. I'd best get used to being around aliens anyway. Seeing as how I'm gonna be seeing a whole mess of y'all come next sweep. She laughs nervously. You aren't sure what she's talking about. Do you even need to specify that anymore? It's just natural law at this point. Gravity, the conservation of energy, and you don't know what the heck is going on. Lady, would you mind drawing a bath for our guest? I'm sorry, she can do what now? No offense, but you smell like you could use one. Yeah, I bet after the heck of a time that we've been going through, accidentally killed our first friend, smoked vape with the second, then left for some reason. Then we ended up in the painting hell that we had to escape from, and now we're here. You can't argue with that. You offer her a cautious smile. God, she seems so nice and caring. But you've been burned before, and cut, and generally kicked around by fate. It's a tough world out there, but you want to trust Skylar. Lady takes a bucket in her muzzle and runs out to the yard, getting up on her hind legs and batting at the door latch to open it. It's adorable. The sun is high enough now that the whole landscape outside is washed in white. Oh God, the dog! Oh, it's sweet of you to worry. Lucy's are fine going in and out a little while in the daylight. Their coats reflect light or something to that effect. So lady is a Lucy. Or Lusus? She's a Lusus, but Lucy is the singular term. I don't really know how it works. I ain't exactly known for my scientific acumen. You tell her that she seems pretty smart from where you're standing. As cynical as you've become, you just can't help trying to be her friend. She's so nice and, wow, really pretty. Not that that's a requirement for friendship, but your retinas would have to be way more scalded than they are to not notice that. That's nice of you to say. But it wouldn't even really matter if I was a bona fide genius. Someone of my caste could never hope to rise up in the ranks. Best I can hope for is hauling crates on some cargo vessel. Ranks? Cargo vessel? You swallow your bite of grum cake, ready to ask her if she is thinking about joining the military, but just then a swell of noise erupts from outside the house. Shouts, crashes, and ladies' frantic barking. Skyla gasps and launches herself out of her chair, knocking over the carafe syrup. It oozes across the tabletop in a sticky wave. Oh no! Not now! What the hell is going on? Bandits! Goddamn laced! Lusus thieves! You don't get the chance to ask anything else before Skyla careens towards the door, throwing up an arm as blazing white pours in. Oh gods! She's going to go outside and burn up! She's going to think she isn't thinking straight. You've got to do something. Gonna try helping her. What the hell? You've already experienced the Alternative Sun. It sucks a whole lot. Maybe now will suck less because of how bad it sucked then, but just a sliding scale of suckium. Skyla plunges out into the daylight in the direction of the commotion, and like a big dumb a-hole, you barrel out into the blazing hellscape after her. Surprise! It still sucks! You've had sunburns before, but this is ridiculous! This is a freaking monster of a gas giant pointing and laughing at the tiny speck of the humanity you represent, trembling before the void. It's a pure assault on all your senses. The light is almost as bad as the heat, and you put up your arms to block the glare. Following the dust, Skyla kicks up behind her. You doubt your eyes will actually ever adjust to this frickery, but you can see a little better than before. There are about a dozen of them, all of them trolls, all wearing black, padded outfits that cover their faces. They look halfway between hazmat suits and SWAT uniforms. All of them have big, fake-looking guns that probably aren't fake. In fact, one of them shoots a laser at your face, you duck, and it leaves a blazing heat trail across your cheek. But as all of you is currently burning, it doesn't really break your stride. Skyla throws herself into the fray, letting out a war cry accompanied by the sound of a fist hitting flesh. It's 12 against 2, which, if you remember your fractions right, is not unlike 6 against 1. But these guys had probably not been expecting a frontal assault, and they were definitely not expecting a Skyla, who is frankly freaking terrifying. She shoves 3 trolls down like dominoes, grabs up a discarded gun, and shoots all 3 while they're on the ground. You have never been in a fight before? A freaking all-out brawl? Yeah, okay. I read that right. It's scary. But now that you're in the thick of it, it's also kind of awesome. Sure, your skin is burning and you could be killed at any moment, but that's just how it goes on this planet. You just gotta get into the swing of things. Take no prisoners. Kill or be killed. Hell yeah! You pop one of the bandit trolls in the face. Frick. That probably hurt your fist more than it hurt the troll. But it does throw them off balance for long enough for Skyla to smash the butt of her gun into the side of their head. Yeehaw! Hell yeah! She gives you a wild grin. The two of you are beaming at each other while a hostile alien sun tries to boil away the liquid from your eyeballs, and a bunch of bandits try to dogdap a giant monster. You love this girl. In a friendship way. But still, you love her. And you make an awesome team. Another troll comes up behind Skyla, and she smashes an elbow into their throat, grabbing them by the front of their uniform and suplexing them into the dusty ground. She wails on them with her bare hand. Gods. She's really hot. Get lady! Oh, right. You stumble over to where the Lusas is thrashing inside a big black net. You don't have any way to cut her free, but she's already doing great on her own, biting through the fibers with her big sharp teeth. You hold the net still for her to finish the job, then pull it off her so she can join the fray. It's over fast after that. How did they even get Lady into the net in the first place? She's so giant and quick, grabbing trolls in her jaw and shaking them like chew toys. The remaining 5 who are still standing jump into their weird little dune buggies and make tracks. Emphasis on the bug. They look like scuttling little beetles. Skyla chases after them for a few hundred yards, throwing the gun after them and shouting obscenities. And stay away, you hear? Tell the rest of them why you don't ever frick with a Rusty's ranch. She stands silhouetted against the blazing sun. The dust trails vanishing into the distance. You are awash in heady victory, giggling like a lunatic before the adrenaline kind of drains out of you all at once. You are violently reminded that you are one of your fricked up ribs and recent blood loss. Giving up, sun beats down, and your arms are already covered in raised patches of red skin. This is a sunburn turned up to 11. Whoa there, are you okay? Skyla is swaying too. A spray of olive green blood covers her cheeks. At least the rainbow blood on this planet means you can be sure if it isn't hers. But she still looks rough, kind of how you feel. Lady! Come here, girl! Wow, you're just gonna sit down? Maybe just take a little break? The pale landscape swoops, going even paler. No, you can't rest here! You'll die, dumbass! I'm not letting anything happen to my new best friend! Get up! New best friend? Holy shit! That makes you so happy! You absolutely can't die here! Not when you just made an amazing friend! Somehow, the two of you manage to drag each other across the yard and towards the house. Hive? You're gonna get this lingo down if it kills ya. Whenever you feel yourself about to fall forward, you lean on Skyla. When you start to fall back, Lady is there to brace herself against the back of your knees. She's such a good Lusus. You wonder if she'll be your friend too. Her muzzle is dripping with the soup of multicolored alien blood. When you get back in to the darkness of the hive, you can't see anything. Dang, your species really ain't suited for this kind of environment, huh? You can't even see in the dark. In demonstration, you walk right into the table. You've about had it with tables. I can understand why we've about had it with tables. You are sworn enemies at this point. Please don't knock down my nutrition platform. I built it myself. She sounds exhausted but giddy. Dang, you really did that thing, didn't you? You kind of want to go in for the hug, but that sunburn is really something. It feels like tiny needles piercing your arm and cheeks. The back of your neck is a colony of fire ants. You might have radiation poisoning too? Oh yeah. Feels real bad, don't it? Come on, there's only one cure for sunburn? For sun rash. Only one cure for sun rash. Skyla takes your hands. Gosh, this is next level friendship stuff. She leads you through her hive, and who knows if you are ever going to get all of your vision back. Maybe you're just blind for life. You'll have to get a cane and whimsical aesthetic and learn to navigate the world by smell alone. You're not becoming Daredevil. No, that would be stupid. Here we go. My coop isn't huge, but you're kinda scrawny. What are you waiting for? Take your clothes off. Man, the sun must have fricked with more than just your eyes, because you could have sworn Skyla just told you to take your clothes off. You're seriously not getting into my recuperation cocoon with those filthy rags. I'm not even sure what those clothes are supposed to be originally. Yeah, you weren't so sure about your look either. Another new friend of yours told you it was rad, but you were both a little high at the time. You might be a little high right now. You wonder if sunstroke causes auditory hallucinations. Also, you don't know what a recuperation is. Really? Then what the heck do you sleep in on your planet? You hear rustling, followed by the sound of clothes hitting the floor, and then a weird gloop, gloop, like someone getting into a bathtub, only thicker. If a troll didn't have a super, well, I don't really know what would happen, but I reckon it wouldn't be great. It can speed the healing process for burns and small wounds. I'm not sure what it's gonna do to weird alien anatomy, but I don't see as how it's gonna make it any worse. You tell Skyla that, in your experience, things can always get worse, especially from her perspective right now, since she's about to see you naked. Nothing like a little self-deprecating humor as an A+ cover for crippling insecurities. Skyla laughs. Come on now. I'm sure you're a perfectly healthy example of your species. Just get in already. I promise this isn't any sort of pale solicitation. Or flush, for that matter. I know it's awkward, but I only got the one coop. Right, okay. Yeah, you can totally do this. You can make this not weird. Of course, you trip taking off your goddamn pants. And Skyla starts laughing all over again. Not in a mean way. More in a chill, please join me in my slime bath. My old chum way. In a non-awkward way. In a friend way. Victory! We have made friend. Okay. Now, there was the not following her that I want to try real quick. Oh! Okay, I'll do forget it after. Stop her. Skyla is bigger than you, and she has the strength of both desperation and a superior genome, so you don't feel great about your chances. But you have to try. Skyla is too upset to be careful. You have to stop her from hurting herself. You stumbled into her house all gross and pathetic and alien, and she didn't turn you away. She gave you pancakes, for Christ's sake. Grump cakes, whatever. And it isn't just the sun. From the number of voices, there's got to be 20 people out there. She doesn't stand a chance. You run up behind her and hook your arm under hers, hauling her back by the armpits. She struggles, jabbing her elbow into your aching ribs. Let me go! You don't understand! They'll take her! Lady! You hold grimly on, going limp and using gravity and your own dead weight to pull her down to the floor. Though wheezing breaths, you tell her she can't go out there. Didn't she just tell you that you'd never have survived it if you had been later than dawn? You probably aren't making much sense, but you keep up a stream of worthless bullshit until someone catches. Would your Lucis really want this for you, Skyla? Would Lady really want you to sacrifice yourself for her? Wait. Skyla goes rigid, and then all of the fight just drains out of her like blood down a drain. She sags back into your arms. The two of you watch Lady thrashing in a huge black net as several of the figures haul her away. The sun is too bright to see them clearly, but they appear to be herding more white creatures out of a padlock and into a collection of vehicles. They herd... She says it so quietly. You feel it more than hear her say it. You continue to watch as Lady is packed into one of the vehicles and they drive away, kicking up clouds of dust that glimmer in the brutal sun. You can tell me. You can let me go now. I'm not going to throw myself out in the daylight like a romantic novel heroine. You realize just how tight you're holding on to her and loosen your arms, pulling away and sitting up. Skyla's cheeks are wet with tears, but she quickly shakes her hair into her face and hides it. That makes your heart hurt. You want to tell her that everything's going to be okay, but you make it a point not to lie to your friends. You have absolutely no idea how it's going to be. And before you can say anything at all, she gets up and disappears through a door and further into the house. You decide to mind your own business. Well, you do try the door, but it's locked. best to keep occupied and do what you can for her. First, you shut the door, to keep that sweltering heat, blinding light out. Then, you tidy up the kitchen a little. Everything there is oddly textured and colored. The shapes unusually organic. Some of it is worryingly scuttly and alive. You do your best. You mop up the stirrup and straighten the chairs. You're just trying to figure out how to get the sink to spit out some water into the dirty dishes. When Skyla comes back out, her eyes are dry and her hair is combed back into her face. Don't you worry about that. You're gonna break something. She plays with her beaded bracelets with nervous little fidgets of her fingers. I could never have taken those fellows by myself, especially not in broad daylight. I want to thank you for stepping in and stopping me. I was overwrought. You nod, accepting her thanks. She doesn't seem overwrought anymore, just numb. Wow, this is actually a legitimately terrible situation. Not even in a dumb, zany way that all the other shit that has happened to you recently. You wonder who those guys even were. Lusa sleeves. They've come before, but always at night and never in such large numbers. So Lady and me could always take them. I never expected anything like this. For them to come in force like this in the middle of the day? She sits down at the table, putting her elbows in a patch of syrupy mist. You offer her the dishcloth, and notice several little discolored patches on her arm. It looks like she got burned just from having her arm out to the door for like a minute and a half. You're really glad you didn't let her go out there. You've endured a lot of heinous stuff in your short span on this planet, injuries and lots of added insults to those injuries, but the time you spent with Skyla, waiting for the sun to go down, is some of the worst and most helpless. You don't know what to say to help her. You aren't actually her friend. You aren't even the same species. The true Lusos relationship is a little confusing, but they seem to be some combination of caretaker and pet. More symbiotic than parent and child. Finally, it gets late enough to venture outside, and you follow Skyla out to the empty paddock. There's nothing out here but a broken fence and trampled ground. A lot of kids lose their Lucy. It's part of life. I would have been heading into the ordeal's next sweep anyway. I would never have seen her again. But at least I would have gotten the chance to say goodbye, you know? It's kind of a bummer how resigned everyone on this planet seems to terrible things happening. Then again, you guess that's sort of true on your planet too. Existence, just a gosh dang mess. You try to give her the most understanding look you can. Just a really good and supportive friend face. You're killing it. But Skyla isn't paying attention to your glowing facade. She's reaching into her jacket and pulling out her phone. What the hell? My pal Mercs is blowing up. Oh god. Skyla drops her phone in the dirt and claps her hand over her mouth, her eyes sparkling with tears. You pick it up. It's kind of squishy and squirmy in your hand a little, which you don't love. You also don't love what's on the screen. It's a troll in a mask, holding a gun to Lady, who is still in that net, baring her teeth. The gun looks fake, kind of like a Nerf gun. You bet it's not a Nerf gun. The photo is accompanied by more of that spiky text you can't read. Hey, now that you understand the Alternanian spoken language, you can all understand the Alternanian spoken language, but not the written? You decide not to think about it too hard. Waste of time. They sent a ransom demand. They say if I can't pay, they'll sell her. Troll Lucy are valued for their strength all over the galaxy. The heiress knows about the black market, but she doesn't do anything about it. She just takes a cut. You ask her how much the ransom demand is for, as if you have a penny to your name. She tells you a number that sounds stupidly large, even without knowing the exchange rate to Earth money. They're just mocking me. They know my bronze blood can't afford this. They just want to force me to fail her one more time. Her voice breaks onto a sob. You reach over and put your hand on her arm. She looks at you with big, watery eyes, and you brace yourself to fall into... you brace for her to fall into your arms, sobbing. You're actually kind of hoping for it. Not that you're the type to want to profit off another's pain, but you're pretty sure that offering comfort in the time of crisis is the first-class ticket to Friendsville. Instead, Skyla gives you a hard shove backwards. You take 2 stumbling steps and fall on your ass. Something squishes underneath you. A cow pat or something alive? You aren't sure which you prefer, honestly. Sorry. I didn't actually push you that hard. Your species is just pretty flimsy. I don't want sympathy right now, especially not from you. She stands up, framed between the 2 moons. So trick of perspective, making her look just as distant and just as sad. Not that moons are inherently sad. Whatever, that's not the issue right now. Had Skyla been lying to you before when she said she doesn't blame you? She'd even thanked you for stopping her from killing herself. No, I don't blame you. I just can't stand the sight of you. Looking at you just reminds me of losing Lady, and I don't think that'll ever change. Sorry. I really was hoping we could be friends. It's been a really long time since I've seen anybody out here that goes on 2 legs instead of 4. But I just don't think it's gonna work out. If you start walking now, you can probably make it to the city before sunrise. Or there's a Jade Blood colony nearby if you want to inflict your personal brand of assistance on them. Bye. You leave with your proverbial tail between your legs, and the last glimpse you get of Skyla, she's standing next to the empty paddock, staring at the ground. That's so sad. That's so sad. I do love the more scribble art of these end screens sometimes, though. Anyway, there's still another line left for her. Skipping. And I am not going towards the shimmer. Honestly, you could probably see this one coming. The end. Okay. Time for the last one. Putting one foot in front of the other. Yada 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 yada. Bronya. You've been traveling through a cave network for a while now. The rigid stone is a welcome respite from the eerily organic infrastructure you've been encountering. But it's also proving an unwelcome reprieve from friend-making. Maybe it was too much to hope for, that this cavern would be home to another potential new buddy. Maybe leaving the big city behind was a horrible mistake. Just maybe, these dark, cold tunnels are completely devoid of... Oh, hang on, there's a bunch of buildings in the distance. Oh, hello! I thought you were one of my girls, but you don't look like a Jade Blood. Or anything else, actually. How strange. You convey your usual spiel regarding your circumstances. You are lost, you are lonely, your ribs are still broken, you think. Honestly, the ribs are fine. You could just use another friend or 2. I see. My first responsibility is to my Jades and my mother, grub. So I can't make any promises of friendship just yet. But you do look like you need someone to take care of you. Here in the Brood Cavern, we follow a few simple rules. 1. Don't invite drama from up top down below. 2. Protect the mother grub. 3. Have no hierarchy, but do what I say. Then there's a hierarchy. Let's do everything we can to keep our current record of dozens of sweeps without any jades being cold. That sounds like a good plan. You're not sure what half of those words mean, but you nod your head. Good. I'll take you to our hive. Follow me! You follow her into her hive, which looks like a school of some kind. A school or some kind of dormitory with multiple rooms and multiple floors. Usually, more of my jades are around. I suppose that everyone is out watching the Imperial drones arrive with the filial piles. Girls, we have a visitor to our caverns! 1. Don't be alarmed when by their bizarre appearance. They seem to be harmless and are quite weak. 2. Don't give them more injuries than they already have. Our visitor deserves a warm jade blood welcome. She claps her hands. No one else is around, but you stand to attention and give her a thumbs up to show that you read her loud and clear. You notice that she called you visitor and not friend, but that's okay. You can do whatever it takes until you upgraded from visitor to friend, or at least charity case. You follow her upstairs, and she stops at a big room on the second floor. When you step into it, you have to clap your hand over your mouth to keep from gagging at the revolting sight. Yeah, I bet. There's a big, baby-sized, larvae-looking thing all over the floor, squirming around and crying and inchworming out of a kiddie pool of green slime. What the hell? This is our nursery. Most of these wigglers are sick or injured, so we look after them in here until they're well enough to go back out into the caverns and spin their cocoons. She looks shifty all of a sudden, giving you some side-eye, like she's sizing you up. You try to look very non-threatening and also 100% trustworthy. We keep this nursery on the down low. It's not against any laws, but it's something of a break with tradition to save any of the grubs instead of just letting them die. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure why we do it. I guess it just feels right to me to take care of them, to save the same way I take care of my jades. A nursery, huh? You look around again with this new information. You guess you can sort of see how the wigglers look like babies. You can't believe that one of these things could grow up into anything that looks like Bronya. But this is an alien planet, so who knows? She takes you over to a shelf that seems to hold medical supplies. You're not sure what can be done for your broken ribs, but maybe she has some kind of alien technology that can help. But when she starts going through the cabinets, you don't see anything that looks high-tech like the thing that fixed your arm. I got that most of what we have is stuff for the wigglers, and I'm not familiar enough with your bizarre anatomy to know if it will help. But if you're not completely sure how to do something, it's best to try anyway. 1. Even if you fail, everyone else can still learn from your mistake. 2. Maybe you won't fail, you never know. You're not sure about applying this ethos to your broken ribs, but she looks so determined, it might be rude to say no. Go for it, my broken ribs are already broken, so what's the harm? Okay, come here. Lift up your shirt so I can get your injured bellow sack enclosures. That is one way to call them. Yes, that. Turn the part that's all red and horrifying towards me. There's a part that's all red and horrifying? She has something that looks like some kind of ointment? It's a shade of bright green, similar to the slime beds you see around the nursery. And it also seems to be glowing. Seems like there's nothing wrong about applying it to your skin. But despite your optimism, the second Bronya rubs some of it onto your broken skin, you feel a searing hot pain, like you just got doused with poison. You flinch back instinctively. Your momentum carries you too far, and as you step back, you trip on something behind your feet. You cartwheel your arms, but it's no use. You're going down, you're yelling timber. You feel something soft and squishy break your fall, and you hear a terrible squelching noise and some kind of animal squeal. You have fallen right onto one of the wigglers. You roll off of it, but there's no use. It's squished flat, and you're covered in an olive fluid that you think might be its blood. You look up at Bronya, with a horrified face, and you know that there's no hope for friendship in those vengeful eyes. You might want to run before I throw you out this window and break the rest of your bones. Well, that's one way for things to go. So time to not get the ointment on my ribs. Thanks, but no thanks. I'll heal on my own just fine. Oh, well, if you're sure. I'm worried about you, though. You seem like you need help, and I wish I could help you more. If I can't take care of someone, I'm not sure how we can ever truly be friends. You try to cheer her up, pointing out that friendship is a two-way street, after all. She doesn't have to concern herself with your mutilated frame. How can you help her instead? Well, sure. There are things around here that I could use some assistance with. However, don't take this the wrong way. We've only just met, and I don't know that I can trust you to be as responsible as I am. It's not easy to be the one in charge. You have to be 1. Conscientious, 2. Considerate, and 3. Competent at all times. You try to think of times in your life when you've been conscientious, considerate, or competent, but you're drawing a bit of a blank. But hey, new planet, new you. You assure her that you have what it takes. I guess if you want to prove that you can be responsible, I cannot let you help me out today. It's a good time to visit the mother grub. You're careful to step around all the little guys on the floor as you head out of the nursery. She takes you back outside, and these caverns are even bigger than you first realized. They're also dark and cold and gloomy, and you can't see anywhere that might lead up to the planet's surface. Does she really just live down here all the time? To make some conversation during this cold hike in the damp cave, you mentioned that living underground like this seems kind of depressing. You realize too late that this wasn't very tactful, but she doesn't get angry at your conversational gambit or insulting of her home. Oh no, it's very peaceful down here. Well, in comparison to anywhere else. I quite enjoy it. The brooding caverns are a place for life and birth, not death. That's pretty uncommon in Alternia. You're still not sure what she means by brooding caverns, but you guess it has something to do with the wigglers in her nursery. Before you can ask, you reach the top of the ridge and get a new, wider view of the rest of the cavern. It's enormous, probably the size of a small city. All over the cave floor, you see more wigglers, crawling everywhere. Cocoons line the cave walls, and the
larger stalactites with some young trolls crawling out of them. Walking, flying, and crawling amongst the wrigglers and young trolls are a variety of white monsters of all kinds of shapes and sizes. At the center of the cavern, there is... you don't even know how to describe it. It looks like a huge, many-legged queen bug of some kind, with a goat-shaped skull and horns coming out of her head. Her bulbous sphincter ripples as she lays a continuous stream of hundreds of eggs, from which you assume the gray wrigglers will hatch from. And marching through all this, you see several hulking bipedal creatures, each carrying 2 buckets, either to or away from the mother grub. They look armed, and they move like regimented troops, soldiers of some kind. You are instinctively terrified of them. This is where the magic happens, and by that, I mean the continuation of our species.
Jade Bloods like myself are entrusted in looking after this process, which of course is a very special job. 1. The Imperial drones carry filial pedals of genetic material to the mother grub for her slurry. 2. She lays eggs that hatch new grub broods. 3. After the wrigglers emerge from their cocoons, the new trolls will go through the trials, and the ones that make it will be selected by a Lusus to help care for them. 4. Together, young trolls and their Lucy go up to the surface together, where the trolls will grow up, or get cold, or whatever.
As Bronny explains troll reproduction to you, one of the Imperial drones veers sharply to the left, and in the process tramples over a few wrigglers and young trolls. The drone continues on, but several of the Lucy cry out, crowding around their dead or injured charges. One of them, a gigantic beast that resembles a bison, bellows and rears up on its hind legs, hitting one of the other Lucys with its front hooves.
Oh jeez, not again. This kind of damage control is a lot of what we have to deal with. Whenever a Lusus goes rogue out of the grief or confusion, there's a potential for it to lash out at other Lucys, the wrigglers, or the mother grub herself. We Jade Bloods cannot let that happen!
She looks concerned, a marked contrast to how confident she seemed before now. You offered to help her out earlier, and it seems like now's your chance. Someone has to stop that rogue Lucius. And that someone could be you. And that someone could be you? Try fighting the monster, saving the day. The bull Lucius seems to be causing quite a ruckus. Other Lucy have now gotten riled up too, with some of them trying to gather wrigglers to keep them out of harm's way, or others trying to just getting hyped and thrashing. It seems like it could turn into a monster stampede if they're close to the mother grub's big, soft, vulnerable abdomen. Not great. Fighting a monster single-handed seems like a daunting first step in a friendship, but you did tell her you could be responsible. You square your shoulders and tell Bronya that she has nothing to worry about. You're going to stop that Lusus, calm down all the other Lucy, and protect the mother grub, all without breaking a sweat and hopefully without breaking any more bones either.
Whoa there! All I was going to suggest is that I go after it while you stay here. You seem kind of weak and fragile, even apart from your injuries, I mean. I don't want you to get hurt worse, and I'm not sure I trust anyone other than myself to take the lead on this.
That wasn't quite the reaction you were hoping for. Normally you would be all about sitting back and letting her protect you because, well, protective and responsible are a good look on her. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and you don't know how else you're going to prove yourself worthy to be her friend. You do your best to
project the air of confidence, or at least competence. You assure her that this is no sweat for you. You take down raging bison back in your home planet all the time. You're known for it, actually.
Well, if you say that, this isn't your first undulate roping gallop exhibition, I'll believe you. I'll hang back so that you give it a shot. But if it gets too overwhelming in there, I'm right here. 1. Caring for the mother grub is my responsibility as a jade blood. 2. I'd never abandon a friend to deal with a mess on their own. If we end up being friends, that is.
Oh, hell yes! Now you have a reason to hope. You approach the rampaging bison with caution. Do all bison have horns like that? Maybe they do. You're no bison expert, but you're pretty sure they don't all have teeth that nasty. Bison on Earth mostly eat grass, don't they? This guy doesn't look like an herbivore. At first you try to calm the lusus down by talking to it, but your soothing words have no effect. In fact, you might have just made it even angrier by suggesting that it pause and take some deep breaths in reaction to its trampled charge. You're not even sure it can understand human speech, come to think of it. You circle around it, wishing that you had some kind of lasso or something. Maybe you can herd it away from the mother grub. You look around to see if any of these other Lucy look vaguely Earth Shepherd dog, but no dice. You hesitate too long, and the Lusus turns away, its furious eyes falling on the mother grub. It stamps its hooves, snorts air out of its nostrils, and screams in a way that sounds a lot more hellish than you imagine normal bison are capable of. It's obviously about to charge, and you can only think of one thing to do. In desperation, you leap forward and tackle it football style, doing everything you can with your flimsy human body to drag it onto its side. It half works. You plow into the Lusus and stop it in its tracks, but it topples over a nest of wrigglers, taking you down with it. Wrigglers and young trolls go bouncing everywhere, squealing in distress, and their Lusus descend upon you in rage. Everything is chaos for a while. You're trapped beneath the bison Lusus, which is very worrying for all your body parts, and you think you might feel something important rupture inside you. But hey, on the bright side, this crushing mass is protecting you from all the pissed off Lucy trying to attack you. Just as your whole breathing situation is starting to get dicey, you hear a commotion and what sounds possibly the touncing of some of the smaller Lucy that are trying to get at you. The crowd of beasts around you scatters, and then you hear her. Oof, I'm having a hard time getting this thing off you. And he's still very angry. He keeps trying to kick me. Where's a bronze blood when you need one? You don't know what that means, but you're very grateful that she's here to help you. You try to communicate this, but it comes off garbled from all the blood in your mouth. Maybe don't try and speak, or move, or help. You experience a sinking feeling that could be related to your diminishing odds of impressing Bronya and becoming her friend, or it could be the compression of all your internal organs. Either way, it's tough to feel optimistic right now. But before you can give into complete despair, you hear other voices. Your view is blocked by the massive bison flesh on top of you. But could it be... Are there people here to save you? Finally! I was wondering where you all had gotten off to. Let's all work together, girls! 1. You two grab his horns and keep his head still and keep it from biting anyone. 2. The rest of you come around with me at its backside so we can push it without getting kicked. You hear some grunting and muttering, and the bison starts making noises that sound more confused and less furious. The pressure and pain on your chest briefly spike in intensity as the thing's weight shifts. And then they must succeed in dragging it off you, because suddenly you can breathe again. But the crisis is not over yet. While you're still testing the use of your lungs and blinking up at the cavern ceiling, you hear a new cacophony of enraged monster noises. Uh-oh, the other Lucys are still agitated.
Get down there and try to calm them down! Protect the mother grub!
You try to lift yourself up to see what's going on, but putting any weight on your arms makes you feel like maybe all your bones got turned into confetti. Painful confetti. You feel strong hands propping you up gently. And now your head is on Bronya's lap. You try to focus more on how this is a nice place for your head to be and less on the pain.
This is not good. I don't know if my jades can reach the stampede in time, and the mother grub could get injured, not to mention all these wrigglers in danger.
Oh no. You didn't think this situation could get any worse, but now you see that several of the Imperial drones that had been about to leave the cavern are turning back, drawn by all the noise and chaos.
And maybe this could be a good thing? Maybe they can instill some order?
Fuck, they're gonna kill everyone! Dang it! She scrambles to her feet, in the process letting your head whack against the cavern floor. Your vision swims, but you can still make out the drones firing indiscriminately at the Lucy, at the grubs, at the wrigglers, and at the jade bloods. One laser beam skirms the side of the mother grub's massive midsection, and her scream is so loud that the ceiling shakes and a few stalactites shake loose, falling on drones and Lucy's and wrigglers alike. It's a total catastrophe. A whole rainbow's worth of troll, wrigglers, and Lucy blood is splattering the cave walls. Bronya seems paralyzed by the chaos, looking from her jades to the mother grub to the imperialized wigglers, like she's not sure who to help first.
I can't believe it. This is the worst disaster we've ever had down here. It's all because I thought I could sit back and let someone else be responsible for once. If I were a less secure person, I could let this moment plant a seed of doubt in my head about my ability to take care of others and do my job well. Or I could chalk it up to you being really frickin' stupid. You sink under the weight of her glare. She's green in the face from how angry she is. You swallow and manage to spit out enough blood to ask a question that you already know is hopeless. Does this mean we can't be friends? Are you serious right now? Do not make friends with anyone who recklessly endangers the trolls and wigglers under my care!
Game over. You killed them all! Alright, okay. Gonna drink a little bit more water, then do the last go in. Or it's hopefully the last go in. Bronya! Skip. No thanks. I'm good. And I will be a weenie. You definitely do not like the idea of wading into a monster fight, not even to save the progenitor of your new friend's species. In fact, you don't like that Bronya is so focused on protecting all these helpless toddlers and distressed animals instead of taking care of you. You stammer out that you don't think you can take on any kind of monster right now. In fact, you just felt another stab of pain from your ribs. You might be blacking out. Bronya's concerned face turns in your direction as you start to swoon. She catches you before you hit the ground, and your heart flutters. You look up at her serious face, and she looks like such a mom, but also such a friend, like some sort of combination of the two concepts. Yikes, you don't look so good. I can't leave you alone, not when you're in such bad shape. Maybe I could carry you on my back while I try to stop the rampaging Lusus. Your heart flutters hers turn to pinpricks of alarm. That sounds dangerous. Mainly for you. You try to think of what you can say to dissuade her. Something along the lines of, I think you should ignore the helpless babies and mother in danger behind you in favor of continuing to hold me in your strong arms. But before you can speak, you hear a commotion behind her. She turns to look over her shoulder and her face sags in relief.
Yes, the other Jays are here! They should know what to do. We've taken care of crises like this before. Of course, usually I'm there to help.
If you crane your neck, you can just glimpse a crowd of trolls corralling the rogue Lucius away from the mother grub, while other trolls calm the remaining Lucy and swoop up any wrigglers in harm's way.
It looks like I needn't have worried. They're more capable of stepping in while I'm otherwise occupied. I'm so proud.
You take this opportunity to compliment her on what a good leader she must be to have trained the others so well. Super smooth. She beams at you and sets you down carefully on the cavern floor, kneeling at your side.
This could have gone quite badly. I'm glad I didn't make the wrong choice when I stayed to help you instead of rushing off. This goes to show sometimes the best thing you can do for the group is take care of the weakest person in it.
You kind of want to object to being called the weakest person, but you did just fake a fainting spell for attention, so maybe now isn't the best time. Instead, you thank her sincerely for sticking by your side. The two of you watch together as order is gradually restored to the chaos below. And even with your injuries, you feel close to content and quite hopeful about how this relationship is progressing. You notice that several wigglers are blindly squirming around, confused and crying. There are some young trolls there too, looking around all lost and bereaved. Bereaved. You're not too sure if their Lucy ran off with the others that got involved in that I'm calling it fiasco because I can't pronounce that word. Fiasco? Or if these little guys are orphans now. Now that you're seeing them out in the natural cavern light, the regulars look less like maggots to you. In fact, they're even kind of cute. You can see why Branya would want to take care of them. One of the smallest wigglers closest to you has somehow flipped himself over onto his back and seems unable to right himself, his little legs waving in the air while he cries. Trying to be careful with your ribs, you reach out and scoop him up and cradle him to your chest, rocking him back and forth until his cries quiet down. Wow! You seem to have a very strong nurturing instinct. I think he likes you. You almost look like you could be his Lucis, or a Jade Blood. You are pleased that she approves of your caretaking display. The wriggler's cough breaks through your haze of smug satisfaction, and when you look down, you realize that he seems to be having some trouble breathing. You point this out to Branya. Good observation. You really are natural at taking care of other creatures, aren't you? Some people find that nurturing ability to be very attractive in a potential friend. But as for the wriggler, this is definitely not a good sign. I'm sure none of these drones have noticed that he's sick. If we leave him here, he'll be cold for sure. Branya takes the wriggler from you, and you're more than happy to hand him over, considering that you have no idea what to do with a sick baby that's not of your species. Also, your broken ribs make holding a baby kind of painful, and Branya holds the wriggler carefully, but with perfect ease. Just like you hope she'll cradle your new friendship in its infancy. Once Branya feels assured that her jades have the situation at the brooding caverns under control, you both take the wriggler back to the Jade Blood nursery. You hover around aimlessly while Bronya sets up some kind of crib filled with green slime. You're a little concerned when she takes the wriggler and submerges him under the slime, because, like, he was already having trouble breathing. Surely drowning him in slime won't help.
This super should help strengthen his bellow sacs and soothe his sorrow shoot. When he gets healthy again, I'll take him back to the cavern and set him free to make his cocoon and pupate. But he's so small, it's unlikely that he'll survive the trials, or be selected by Elusus. You hate to see Bronya looking sad. You try to be sympathetic, mentioning your astute observation that this whole system set up with the wrigglers and the trials and the culling seems pretty brutal. What? Oh no, I would never suggest. This is just the way the world works. And it's fine. It's fine. The trials are how young trolls prove that they're prove that they're strong enough to survive. It's only right for the weak to be cold. It's the purpose of Jadebloods to ensure the continuation of our species, and consequently, the hemospectrum. 1, we are not revolutionaries. 2, we're meant to do our jobs and keep our heads down. And keep things running smoothly. 3, I would never presume to question the basic tenet of Alteranium society. That would bring negative attention from Hivebloods. I just want to keep my jade safe. You look around at the nursery and all these injured or underdeveloped wigglers that Bronya was apparently supposed to let die. You think that might not be true, that she doesn't question the way her world works. She's looking at you like she's scared you'll call her out on it, expose her altruistic tendencies. You try to salvage this conversation thread. Did you say that culling wrigglers sounded brutal? You meant neutral! Yes, you feel 100% neutral on this topic, neither committed nor to the culling side of things, nor eager to take up arms in revolution. Ah yes, neutral is how I feel about it as well. What a good word to describe exactly how I feel about all controversial political subjects. Did I mention that keeping this nursery isn't technically illegal? Because it isn't, technically. There's no reason for any of the Triza's drones to come investigating our hive. And if any drones do come knocking, we have nothing to hide. No borderline revolutionary ideas will be tolerated within these walls.
Bronya laughs nervously and looks around the room, like she's making sure that there isn't Imperial drones hiding in here. Heard her announcement. You feel bad for how nervous she is. You didn't mean to freak her out. You tell her that she sounds super convincing, and why shouldn't she? Because she's clearly telling the truth. If you were an Imperial drone, you would definitely be satisfied right now with her clearly law-abiding and neutral ways.
Thank you. That means a lot.
You cast about for something to change the subject and mention that your ribs are feeling a bit better. Bronya's face brightens, and she lifts up your shirt gently so she can touch the injured part of your torso, examining it in her typical responsible and authoritative way. You shiver and wonder if her touch has healing properties.
I'm glad to hear that. After all, I don't like it when friends suffer.
Your heart leaps. You look up, scarcely allowing yourself to hope. Could it be? Or was she just making a general statement?
If you're not in any more pain, hopefully that means your injuries will heal soon. I'll take care of you until then, my friend.
You are overcome, your eyes fill with tears. Bronya smiles at you and squeezes your hand.
Victory! Self-care comes first!
And that is everything in this game! What? That's not everything in this game. There's a way to not have Damien die? Okay. Yes, it is beautiful. Apparently there's people who I don't have access to, so can't befriend. But so like after here. But the first two I can properly befriend? I'll have to look into that later. That I can do that in some other stream because I need to take a break and go eat food. Because like what was just said, self-care is important. Okay. I am going... This has been fun, but I am also going to be ending the stream here. I hope any watchers had a good time. This was a pretty fun stream, though I doubt I would play this by myself. I'm good at streaming it, though. So yeah. Hope you had a good time. And I will see you later. Next stream, I think I'm going to be doing Realm of the Mad God because the, current, whatever, Battle Pass, whatever, has, like, 11 days on it, and I want to finish it. But after that, so, next stream, which hopefully will be tomorrow, because I'm starting to feel better, will be more Realm of the Mad God. And then we can talk, and I'll think about playing this more... How does Monday sound? I'll think about playing this more Monday. Or I'll play this more Sunday. I'll play this more Sunday. Extra stream playing this game Sunday. Sometime Sunday. Okay. Heading off.